Mesa yesterday. The team will hold official workouts today with shortstop Addison Russell. He'll be able to go through workouts this spring in spite of being suspended until May 3rd for violating Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy. Bruins beat the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston, the loss snapping the Hawks' 7-game winning streak. Bulls welcome the Grizzlies tonight to the United Center. White Sox pitchers and catchers report to spring training today in Glendale. College basketball, DePaul lost to number 10 Marquette 92-73. Northern Illinois fell to Western Michigan 76-74 in the MAC. SIU lost to Drake in the Valley tonight. Northwestern and Rutgers, and Bradley and Loyola in the Valley. The news service of Peloton, live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leaderboard year-round. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. 5:08, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
I want to keep my heart healthy, so I get my cholesterol checked regularly. And when my doctor told me my cholesterol was borderline, I found garlic. According to my pharmacist, there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol. And one garlic tablet is equal to a whole clove of garlic, except it's odor-free. Yep, I'm doing what I can for my cholesterol, and I'm doing it with garlic.
Garlic, cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Let's think about customization, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free, no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-600-9519. That's 1-800-600-9519. 1-800-600-9519.
The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectible Show, one of the largest coin shows in the nation, is here. Now at the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles, February 21st through the 23rd. Winter blues got you down? When the weather's cold, go for some indoor fun for everyone. Check out Coins and Currency as history comes alive right before your eyes. Coins and Currency can be great investments too, and a great hobby. Admission and parking are free. Just bring your photo ID. Hundreds of the top dealers from all over the country. Displays valued at millions of dollars. U.S. and world paper money, gold and silver bullion, and more. The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectible Show. A show for the whole family. February 21st through the 23rd. At the new location, the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Admission and parking both free with your photo ID. Get rid of those winter blues. Get to the Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectible Show. All the info at chicagocoinshow.com. chicagocoinshow.com.
Millions of pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand with their pets. And right now, when you purchase their Consumer's Digest awarded Boundary Plus technology, you get 45% off your second pet. Visit InvisibleFence.com now to take advantage of this limited time offer. InvisibleFence.com.
512 on AM 560. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Flight boards at O'Hare show 21 cancellations this morning. You'll see a few delays. 7 cancellations at Midway. Metro Electric and South Shoreline trains all running again today. I-65 southbound is closed from 231 in Crown Point. State Road 2 in Lowell is due to a rollover crash. Northbound, it is open. Edens is fine. Kennedy looks good, and the inbound ramp from the Kennedy, the outbound Eisenhower, has reopened after overnight work. The Ike is clear, so is the Stevenson. No significant delays to report on the Ryan. There is outbound work, 87th split. I-57 okay, Bishopport, little congested approaching the merge after overnight work. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny, breezy, and a high at 28. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 22, but temperatures rising into the 30s. Cloudy and milder. We'll see a shower tomorrow, high 43. Clouds and cold Friday, high 23. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
We have dropped a couple of degrees this morning already at O'Hare, down to 14. 16 along the lakefront, 16 at Midway, and 15 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. President Trump, not happy, not thrilled, but the question is, will he sign that border security deal if it gets to his desk?
I can't say I'm happy. I can't say I'm thrilled. But the wall's getting built, regardless. Doesn't matter, because we're doing other things beyond what we're talking about here.
And Trump went on. This was rather interesting. He had some data points from DHS Secretary Christian Nielsen about violent crime committed by people in this country illegally. Remember the mantra of this show: small percentage of a big number is a big problem. So the small percentage of violent criminals that come into this country illegally, how big a problem are they?
The Democrats want everybody to be able to come into our country. We have many criminals. When you look at the numbers of criminals that are nabbed, I mean, I'm looking at numbers that are incredible. This card was just given to me by Secretary Nielsen. And assaults, 99,000 assaults. Larceny, 40,000. Burglary, 25,000. Fraudulent activities, 25,000. Damage and stolen property, 17,000. Sex offenses, 13,552. Sexual assaults, 10,468. That's sexual assaults on people that live in our country, by people that are coming illegally across our borders. In many cases, people that have come before I became president. What happens is we are working very hard. We're getting rid of tremendous numbers of MS-13. And the Democrats don't like us to get rid of MS-13. Now, you figure that one out. These are violent people, and they don't like us to get rid of MS-13. So, robberies, 11,177. Kidnappings, 4,112. Murders, 3,914. Okay? So these are people that ICE is dealing with, and nobody can deal with them more effectively. There's probably no group in this country that does so much and it's really so little respect or love as ICE. It's really a terrible thing. They're doing an incredible job.
So he's done a good job of personifying the data through angel moms and dads, families who've been victimized by a person here illegally. But the data should really be jarring to you. I mean, we've talked about it before. Go back 4 or 5 years, the exchange between Ted Cruz and the President Obama's ICE director, Sarah Saldana. Same data. And it's year after year after year, thus the need for border security, thus the humanitarian crisis on both sides of the border, I would argue.
Well,
and so,
yeah, but that's why people are mad. Like, after all of this, all we're getting is 55 miles of a wall that he promised Mexico would pay for in the first place. I mean, Sean Hannity and Coulter, they're not happy.
I'm getting details. $1.3 billion.
That was from yesterday.
The so-called compromise is typical of the D.C. sewer and swamp, and its level of funding for security and safety of the American people is pathetic. The president would need to declare a national emergency. This is the time. That is a necessity. And the president, I think I know him pretty well, telegraphed that very thing just today.
Oh, Hannity thinks he's telegraphing a declaration of a national emergency. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could read his recitation of the data a couple of different ways. You could read it and his I'm not happy, I'm not thrilled, but I'm going to do it because here's what I'm dealing with Democrats. Democrats won't even go so far as to try to expel people in this country who are committing violent crimes. And let me just tell you the order of magnitude. You could read it. That's the predicate to say, I got to take what I can get with the Democrats. Or you can read it to say, yeah, what I'm being offered isn't enough and I'm going to come over the top. But again, with all due respect to Hannity, coming over the top only winds you up and only lands you in federal court.
And Coulter tweeting, Trump talks a good game on the border wall, but it's clearly increasingly clear he's afraid to fight for it. Call this the Yellow New Deal.
Yeah.
Trump, but the whole thing is, are we going to have a government shutdown? Is he going to sign the bill?
Think you're going to see a shutdown? I wouldn't want to go to it now. If you did have it, it's a Democrat's fault. And I accepted the first one, and I'm proud of what we've accomplished.
So the next shutdown will be the Democrats' fault, even though he authorized Republicans, Senator Shelby from Alabama and others as part of that bipartisan working group, go get a deal. Now you can say they came back and the deal wasn't good enough. Okay. But again, my position is take the deal, take it as a stepping stone on a path to 2020. Don't get into this silliness of is this a win or a loss in real time, because win or a loss in real time doesn't matter. What matters is the path you're on and how treacherous you're going to make it for 2020. Take this opportunity to not only say we're doing something to protect Americans, we're doing something to protect people who want to be Americans, erstwhile new Americans. I'm still willing to talk about doing something on DACA designees because I'm interested in helping people and making people safe on both sides of the border.
And is that still part of the deal?
There is no deal. I mean, DACA doesn't. No, there's no deal. That wasn't included in what was released, at least.
Okay.
And so,
because he turned down $1.6 billion for 65 miles, and then he ends up with $1.37 billion for 55 miles.
Fascinating. And when he has pictures with new infrastructure on the border, and he has the Suborder Border Patrol, and he has a decline in illegal crossings, and he has probably fewer caravans forming and pilgrimaging up to the border when it comes to the last 100 days of the 2020 cycle, that is going to make the memories, much less concerns, of particularly his base not remember, not care about the quarreling over dollars and miles we're doing now.
It'll send a message if we construct any new wall. I mean, when we drove from Rocky Point back to the United States, that's Mexico, There were crosses, Dan, everywhere. And I thought, gosh, people get in a lot of car accidents around here. Like, no, these are families that have died trying to get to America that that go unreported, that we don't even know about it because it didn't happen in our country. I mean, they're scattered all throughout the mountains there. It's unbelievable.
This is a little bit
And
like...
it was really jarring.
This is a little bit like a Nixon goes to China moment, or it could be, where he comes over the top and really is somebody who leads a complete rethinking of how we do immigration, how we enforce and protect our country from illegal immigration, and how we provide for the legal immigration we would like to see. I mean, he really has this opportunity now. And again, let's shut down the government again, or he should have never reopened the small portion of the government that was shut down. Okay, well, that's all past post. He deleveraged the moment that he provided this window to negotiate and ended the partial shutdown. And once he did that, what was proposed the other evening and what he discussed yesterday was the inevitable outcome. You weren't going to do better than that when you're starting with House Democrats that are at $1 and walls are immoral. So, Ann Coulter can run around with her hair on fire as much as she wants. It doesn't change the political reality on the ground. You can't go back and replay the first 2 years of his administration where Republicans had control of Congress. You can't replay ending the partial shutdown. What you can do is take this, which moves the flag a little bit forward, and continue to lead on this issue so that you frame with perfect clarity how the respective parties and the respective nominees for each party would handle this as it pertains to the 2020 election. That, to me, is the sensible thing to do, but I'm willing to take alternative viewpoints. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Start the new year off right. Do something for yourself. Protect yourself from getting sick. And how do you avoid getting the flu and the cold in Chicago during this time? When so many of your coworkers are coughing and wheezing and sneezing. To avoid getting sick, that you have to give your immune system a boost. And a great way to do that is with fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies in our diet. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. You've heard the testimonials, and they are real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails. We listened to some voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers.
Hey everyone, Carrie here. For years, you've heard my husband, Ken,
hello, Radioland,
explain how Income Store is the place for your next revenue stream. Not to date ourselves, but Ken and I have been helping individuals and businesses grow their revenue since before the internet was even a thing. We've heard countless stories as to why people look to increase their revenue.
Some stories make us laugh, some make us cry.
These stories, combined with our own, have motivated Ken and I to dedicate our lives to help people, as Ken says, who need a revenue shot in the backside.
Whether you want to just learn how, or simply put, you need to generate revenue today, our mission is to serve both.
Our worldwide staff of over 150 help to create amazing resources, our most famous being the iTunes podcast.
Today's growth. You got to check out episode 383. It's truly amazing.
And both Inc. and Forbes have shared that when it comes to generating revenue, Income Store is a can't miss. To grow your revenue today, check out incomestore.com.
That's incomestore.com.
AM 560.
The Answer. Dan and Amy, Trump not happy, not thrilled. But the question is, will he sign the proposal that's on the table? Should it make its way to his desk? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. Randy and Sandwich, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning.
This is going to hurt a little bit, but I want to make sure that you understand that when we go through these kind of phases, we're on the same team. Okay, at the end of the day, we're all on the same team.
you don't have to soften the blow for me. Thank you, though.
Oh, I want
together.
to because I respect your opinion and I respect you.
All
but
right.
here's your method, and I want to refer to your method as the Ted Cruz way.
Uh-oh.
The Ted Cruz method is you go in there with a wiffle ball bat and try to negotiate. The people that voted for Trump, that's behind Trump right now, we want to use a sledgehammer. Go in there and smash the table up, go over the top of them, declare an emergency, and whatever happens after that, so be it, because we're tired of the old way of how we go in there and soft toe or in there and say, oh, we didn't get what we want, so what? No. Go around it. Do like Obama did, but Obama did it in a way where it was sleek and no one really noticed and everything kind of went unfazed. Where Trump does something like that, they just put the spotlight on it, so be it. Go in there and smash it up. I'll listen to your response. I hope you have a good day.
All right. Thanks for the call, Randy. Appreciate it.
Dan, yes.
Well, I mean,
you are growing a beard like Ted Cruz too.
I am. I'm also going to get an alfalfa field planted in my forehead, like Cruz did. And Biden.
That's a secret.
Yeah, it's a real secret.
Don't tell anybody.
Real secret. Mike in Plano.
Hey, Dan. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you for the most part. I mean, I don't want another shutdown fight. Shutdowns are not popular. The public doesn't want them. It does affect people outside of the government. You know, the way the last shutdown ended was because flights were grounded at JFK, which meant people couldn't fly for whatever business they had to do. So, or LaGuardia anyway. But, you know, the pushback from the right, you know, I heard Laura Ingraham, who I like very much, but she was on last night trashing the deal as usual. And here's the thing. Some of these nationalist populists in the media that support them need to realize we're in a divided government. I mean, you're not going to get much out of a Democrat House. She was on Twitter yesterday complaining about asylum reform. You're not going to get asylum reform passed through this Congress. So why keep advocating for stuff that's not going to pass?
Well, thanks for the call, Mike. You make a good point, and I think one of the things is that this is an opportunity to jiu-jitsu the entire issue for Trump and the Republicans, and only because of Trump. That's what I was saying, comparing him to the Nixon goes to China thing. This is, yes, I want it all tomorrow, and yes, I want to stick it to the abolish ICE, walls are immoral silliness of the socialists. But there's the reality on the ground in which you have to operate. And this is about more than just serving the Trump base, because it's about winning 2020 so you can continue to build on the results that you've produced in the first 2.5 years of your administration. So I just, I'm not saying everybody who disagrees with me is having is a temper tantrum. I understand the frustration and exasperation. I understand that's what led to President Trump's election in the first place, nomination and election in the first place. But that doesn't mean that at some points, on some moments, you take a half a loaf or a quarter loaf where you can't get a full loaf because the landscape has changed, and you're the person who everyone is looking to navigate that landscape. It has to be more than just the moment. And I think this is a moment for Trump to take that quarter loaf and live to fight and win another day.
No, it's true. Coming up on,
I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell
I
people.
just thought you'd be outraged about this.
Well, I get Randy's. I get Randy's point, but I get Mike's point. I'm not. This is like, this. I understand. It's so easy. The easiest thing to do is just pound your fists on the table to try to feed people who are exasperated, frustrated. I'm exasperated, frustrated. Look, in Illinois, we've got the layer of everything happening in D.C. combined with everything happening in Illinois. I get it. But I also get taking a step back, trying to be a little bit dispassionate about it and say what makes the most strategic sense. That's all.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're still waiting for the Chicago police to officially declare Jussie Smollett something other than a victim at 5:38.
And later, calling out the Senate Democrats, they might take a vote on the new Green Deal to see who agrees with Ocasio-Cortez. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
A winter weather advisory has expired, but still some problems. And areas where blowing and drifting snow is really making the roads slick this morning. Jim Telemonte is along in a moment with an update on the roads and the airfields where there are flight delays this morning. Chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee is pleased with the tentative budget deal that seeks to avert another partial government shutdown.
Of course, any negotiated settlements, nothing's perfect. You don't get everything you want. I didn't get everything I wanted out of this.
Alabama Republican Richard Shelby. The UN says the conflict in eastern Ukraine is in danger of escalating again. Military positions have advanced on both sides in so-called gray areas of the conflict between the government of the Ukraine and Russian-backed separatists. In Slovenia this morning, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
We see this now very clearly in Ukraine, where Russia's illegal annexation continues, and its war in the east is at almost the 5-year mark.
Over 10,000 have died in that conflict. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he'll bring the Green New Deal to the floor for a vote. The Democrat bill is likely not to pass in the Republican-led chamber, but it is frosting Democrats, especially those who want to run for president in 2020, because it will be a campaign issue against them. Oil prices are up for a second day in a row after Saudi Arabia promised it will make deeper cuts in production and supply. A jury finds El Chapo guilty on all counts in his drug conspiracy and money laundering trial. U.S. Attorney Richard Donahue said Tuesday's verdict will end Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's murderous ways. NASA will announce later today whether it's been able to catch up with the Opportunity Mars rover. Opportunity's been silent since June, when Opportunity got caught up in a Martian dust storm. Northbound Lakeshore Drive's bridge in Chicago back open one day after being closed because of cracked steel beams. CDOT's Rebecca Scheinfeld.
We have full confidence that the shoring we have in place now is making this a safe and fully functional roadway.
It was reopened yesterday after city crews and outside workers put in support towers to brace the bridge. A memorial service will be held later today to remember Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer on the first anniversary of his murder. Spring training is underway for the Cubs. That includes shortstop Addison Russell, who will be able to go through workouts in spite of being suspended until May 3rd for violating Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy. Bruins beat the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston. Bulls and Grizzlies tonight at the UC. 5:36 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is just in awe of what's coming from the left.
The infant would be delivered, the infant would be kept comfortable, and then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother.
Let me pick my jaw up off the floor. Let the fact that not a single Democrat seems to be denouncing this evil sink in.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
I want to keep my heart healthy, so I get my cholesterol checked regularly. And when my doctor told me my cholesterol was borderline, I found garlic. According to my pharmacist, there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol. And one garlic tablet is equal to a whole clove of garlic, except it's odor-free. Yep, I'm doing what I can for my cholesterol, and I'm doing it with garlic.
Garlic, cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
If you've considered a MyPillow but procrastinated, the MyPillow 4-pack offer is still available. That's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the price of 1 premium MyPillow. They're amazing pillows, so don't procrastinate. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. They're washable, dryable, and have a money-back offer, and you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper. Your mattress will feel brand new and improved for a lot less than a new mattress. Or get those great pet beds that my dog Bunky loves. Just use the promo code Amy for the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on mattress toppers, pet beds, and even the Giza cotton sheets. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
538. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
South Shoreline trains are back on schedule this morning. So are Metra Electric trains. There is an early morning cancellation on the BNSF line. Southbound I-65 is shut down from 231 in Crown Point, State Road 2 in Lowell, due to a rollover crash at mile marker 244. There is a northbound Gapers delay. Edens is okay. The Kennedy as well, with express lanes open inbound. Eisenhower has a little bit of congestion now around Des Plaines Avenue. Van Stevenson, it's tight approaching Kedzie. 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 good. Bishop Ford 19 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny and breezy, a high of 28. Currently 14 at O'Hare. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
How would I look walking a dog on the White House lawn?
But I was trying to think who had a cat.
Socks. The Clintons had Socks the cat.
On AM 560.
Well, to be fair, the Clintons also did have a bitch in the White House.
Hey-o.
The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The curious case of Jussie Smollett. We're at least finally getting some comments from the Chicago Police Department. Anthony Guglielmi, the Chicago police spokesman, commenting on the phone records Smollett provided to cops to corroborate his version of the alleged attack, but sort of pointing out they're limited and redacted and insufficient for criminal investigation. That's what Chicago police said yesterday.
One of my friends who's close to the investigation, I'll just leave it at that, said it was a joke.
Yeah.
What he handed over to them. So what they need to find is a conversation that he was on the phone with his manager when the manager allegedly heard, "This is MAGA country," and that's
no, he heard the racial epithets.
No, but also no. According to my guys, he said that he heard them say MAGA country. The manager.
Oh, okay.
Heard that, and that's the conversation that they need. Guess what, Dan? It's not there. There's a black line. It's redacted.
Well,
now, why hand over your phone records? That's all they need to know is that conversation.
That's what Guglielmi said. We need something a little more concrete and direct if we're going to be able to say for a fact the conversation occurred. Now, No.
I don't know how he's going to lie his way out of this one, but okay.
They still are treating Smollett as the victim in the case. We don't believe this is a case of manipulation, but when anyone hands over a redacted and limited record like a PDF of a phone bill, for example, those records could be manipulated. Oh, you don't say. We don't believe they are, but we have to be able to hold up to the standards of a criminal court. The records don't meet the burden for a criminal investigation. That seems all very fair. Chris Bastardi, who's a spokesperson for Smollett, said the redactions were intended to protect the privacy of personal contacts or high-profile individuals not relevant to the attack. Yeah, protect them from what? I mean, they're not. It wouldn't be germane to the case, so you just move on. Chicago police have not told us that they are rejecting any records, nor have they expressed concerns about the records to us, Bastardi went on. Well, now they have publicly, Mr. Bastardi, have said they don't meet the standard for a criminal investigation. We need a little bit more concrete and direct evidence of the conversation. That is the spokesman telling you and your client, Mr. Bastardi, that what you provided is of concern to the police because they can't do anything with it.
So what they're doing, they're asking them, excuse me, to please submit the records again, because again, Chicago PD wants the phone records to authenticate that call that was made, where he's on the phone with his manager and he hears the racial slurs and hears "This is MAGA country."
Mm-hmm. Now, it is worth
Allegedly.
noting. It is worth noting that Superintendent Johnson has said again that if the investigation reveals Smollett made a false police report, he will be held accountable.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
You sound skeptical.
I am, because I had a conversation. Hold on one second. Excuse me. I had a conversation with a Cook County State's attorney, an assistant state's attorney, who said, we have the information. We're scared to jump on it. We have the information about Proco Joe, Alderman Moreno, but we're afraid to jump on it because of political correctness. And that's when it gets in the way of doing solid police work.
What do you think? Should we let cultural clout win the day here? This is an African-American gay actor who's doing us the solid of participating in the filming of Empire in Chicago, generating money and jobs. And so, you know,
they film a lot out in Barrington, but yeah.
Maybe he made up a story. Maybe he embellished upon a story that has some factual basis. But let's not make this ugly. Let's just, if the police can't find the alleged attackers, if it seems more likely than not that Smollett made up or embellished the story, let's just drop it and move on to bigger things like violent crime on the south and west sides. What do you say to that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, because as Amy's contact said, this is low-level stuff.
Well, you know what, though? This hurts the reputation of Chicago. It perpetuates a stereotype that it's a violent city, and, oh, my gosh, we're so violent that we attack a gay black man and pour bleach on him. Why? Because we want him to be white? I even heard that argument in church, that they poured bleach on him because they wanted him to be white. I'm like, no, are you kidding me?
What the hell is going on in that church of yours?
Oh, they have no idea that this might be all fabricated. And so I let them know Sunday. I said, guys, just so you know, you need to prepare yourself that this is he possibly might get charged for filing a false police report.
Could I, if I was
and they went, oh no,
for your service.
All right, easy.
Next Sunday. Okay. For your Sunday service.
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask a point of order question? Hey, who reads in this congregation? I'll start. I do. Who reads any outlets? Does anybody read anything? Does anybody ask any questions about what they read? Or do you just wait for Rachel Maddow to tell you what you're supposed to repeat in your drum circle?
Yeah, and what they're supposed to think. Well, it's weird. I mean, also, back to the investigation, though. So my one guy, because I talked to him, I said, well, was the rope around his neck in any surveillance videos? So they said, yes, and it wasn't a noose. It was a clothing line that was tied like a tie, not like a noose. He said, there's video of him in his lobby with that around his neck. And I said, well, is there video of him walking into the building with that around his neck? And he would not tell me because he said that would interfere with the investigation.
Well, they were also reportedly trying to track down the actual source of the rope, the noose, what have you, find the point of purchase. Maybe there's video surveillance of whoever purchased it, but there's no indication they've done that yet.
No, and the only thing, the surveillance video, he's off camera for 60 seconds, and then he comes back on, and at no point in time was he ever being physically assaulted on the video.
I think he went back to get some condiments for that Subway sandwich.
He had a tuna sandwich and a salad. That's what I found out. That's what he bought.
Maybe he was getting a free refill.
And shame on the New York Post for coming in and making our cops look bad. They found a hot sauce bottle with some what appeared to be bleach in it in a corner underneath the Sheridan, hotel down there, and claimed that, this could have been used. They come in 3 weeks later and grab the bottle and tell police. I mean, it's ridiculous. Silly. Well, I just think that they're trying to undermine our fine detectives, and they shouldn't do that.
Well, I don't know. By the same token, they published interviews of residents in Streeterville that were very skeptical that this happened.
Right.
So
that's true.
I think that, look, I understand the cynicism as it pertains to law enforcement in Chicago, sort of generally because of the politicization of it and because of the lack of civilian political backing for the police. So I get that, and I share it. But I think the police have actually handled this pretty well because it's so politically charged, and they need to be sensitive to that. So they're essentially, what I hear, if I could read between the lines of what Guglielmi is saying and what Johnson has said, essentially giving him every opportunity, turning over every stone, so that ultimately, if what the facts indicate is that this was made up or embellished, every step of the way, we gave you every opportunity to present evidence, to walk it back, to add context, and what you did is run, your PR team into us as interference.
He's hired a crisis manager to defend this. His agent is Ari Emanuel, Mayor Emanuel's brother. His manager is the guy he was allegedly on the phone with, and now they've hired a crisis management team to come in.
Do you think Ari Emanuel would do something as unseemly as call Rahm on this matter? And Rahm might say something to the Chicago police chief?
Oh, my God. I don't know.
I mean, you don't think something like that would happen?
Oh, that would never happen in Chicago. Hey.
Yeah, the Ari Emanuel piece hasn't gotten enough play. I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, again, not that anything like that would ever happen. I'm sure there are walls of separation between the Emanuels, and I'm sure Ari would never do anything to try to influence how the city operates, particularly something as important as police investigation.
And remember that lady who said she saw a redneck guy with a rope?
Yeah.
With a caramel-colored dress shoes, minus 23-degree wind chill. Okay, yeah, that police were unable to find any video that ever suggested that anybody like that or with that description was in the area.
Also, 300 feet away, the guy that she saw, and she described in unbelievable detail, like she was a fashion magazine editor, 300 yards away, he's signaling to another guy.
Yeah,
and she catches all of this.
Oh, yeah.
She may or may not have watched an old episode of The Wire that night.
That was
before she
a
had
bad
those,
tip, as we call it in the
made
business.
those identifications. Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I say if there's a problem that we bury it. Bow to the gods of social justice warriors. Let's put our resources to where the real problems are. White teenagers, whether they're boys on campus or a bunch of Catholic kids on the mall wearing red hats. That's the problem in this country. It's white privilege. Go get them.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one. Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're purchasing a home, please listen to this important message. Other mortgage brokers advertise about getting pre-approved to purchase a home, even though they know pre-approvals are worthless. They're worthless because you can't purchase a home with a pre-approval letter. But you can purchase a home with a Team Hochberg approval letter. Team Hochberg will underwrite and approve your loan before you meet with a realtor. You'll know exactly what you can afford, and you can close within 14 business days of signing a contract. If you want to secure a pre-approval letter you can't use to purchase a home, call the other guys. If you're interested in securing an approval to purchase a home, call the local mortgage experts on Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
The weather outside might feel like winter, but if you have a school-age kid, you should be thinking about back-to-school season, and specifically, you should be thinking about where you'll be sending your kids to school this fall. If you've always felt like you didn't really have a choice to send your kids to a private school because of the cost, then listen up. We want to tell you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's that simple. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located across Chicagoland, including Westminster Christian in Elgin, Kingswood Academy in Darien, St. John Lutheran in Chicago's Portage Park neighborhood, Covenant Christian School in Aurora, Jordan Baptist School in Burbank. Make private school a real option for your family for the first time this year. Don't wait. Many of these vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
I want to keep my heart healthy, so I get my cholesterol checked regularly. And when my doctor told me my cholesterol was borderline, I found garlic. According to my pharmacist, there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol. And one garlic tablet is equal to a whole clove of garlic, except it's odor-free. Yep, I'm doing what I can for my cholesterol, and I'm doing it with garlic.
Garlic, cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices, as low as $220 per eye with an absolutely free consultation. Text START to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use advanced FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK for as low as $220 per eye. Text START to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's START to 350350.
Let's face it, everyone loves to shop. From my experience of meeting a famous politician in the Hermes store in Paris,
to my unforgettable experience test driving my first 600 horsepower car, in which I said, I'll take it, before it even hit 60 miles an hour.
we are pretty sure everyone has at least one unforgettable shopping experience. Hello. We are Carrie and
Ken,
founders of Income Store. Have you ever considered shopping for your next income? And we don't mean your next job, Did you know that you can walk into Income Store's website through a door on the left or a door on the right?
If you're just starting out or you simply have more time than money, you're going to enter our website on the left. If you've got more money than time, then definitely the right door is for you.
If you're looking to increase revenue in your home or business and would like to create a brand new, greatest shopping memory, all you have to do is change where you shop. Check out one of the 2 doors at incomestore.com.
That's incomestore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, boy, the Senate may want to factor in this story when Mitch McConnell calls roll for the
Green
GND.
New Deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait. That's going to be one to watch.
Smart. Get everybody on the record for the
see where they stand, if they how progressive they really are.
For the green dream, as Nancy Pelosi calls it. Here's the story they may want to consider, and it comes from Pelosi land. California is going to pull the plug on its billion-dollar bullet train. This is what's supposed to replace the cars and the planes, you know.
That's right. The Ventura Freeway's backed up.
The estimated $77 billion bullet train.
Where was it supposed to go from where to where?
L.A. to San Francisco.
Mm.
It's more than a decade behind schedule. Billions in the red. Been plagued by problems from the start. It was championed by Governor Moonbeam. Governor Moonbeam, Green Dream. Makes sense. The latest estimate for completion was set for 2033. And yet, that would still have been completed before the Byrne interchange. That is the shocking thing. So, I mean, just factor that in as you're waxing optimistic about the impossibilities of AOC's GND.
Well, and here's Mitch McConnell, talking about this is going to happen, folks.
We'll give everybody an opportunity to go on record and see how they feel about the Green New Deal.
I think it's very sporting of McConnell.
No, it's good because then you'll know where, the presidential candidates stand. Your Cory Booker, your Elizabeth Warren, your Amy Klobuchar, or whatever you pronounce her name.
Sure, close enough.
Kamala Harris, all of them.
Wow. Absolutely.
We'll know where they stand.
Absolutely. No, I think it's very open-minded and dignified of McConnell to call that for a vote.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
No collusion and no Mueller report at 6:06.
And what would you do for your boss? Would you shave her legs? But first, let's get into the newsroom. Don't look at me. I'm shaving one of your legs today. I brought my razor.
No. You can shave my son's legs Saturday, sectional swimming.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Here's Mike Scott.
Overnight snow causing slippery roads. A memorial service later today to remember a slain Chicago police commander. Lakeshore Drive's bridge is open. Jim Talamonte with more on that developing story. Chicago aldermanic candidate apologizing for another controversial photograph. Blackhawks lose to the Bruins. Bulls host the Grizzlies later tonight. Partly sunny and breezy, a high of 28 in your forecast. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
He's not happy with the deal, but President Trump may not be against it. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I don't think you're going to see a shutdown.
Congress has until Friday to fund the government, and that bipartisan border compromise still being finalized would do it. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Texas Republican Congressman Louis Gohmert told Fox News Democrats are admitting barriers are necessary, and he's urging the president to accept the agreement.
And then come back and declare an emergency and start using the billions of dollars that would be available.
As for moving money, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says
he doesn't have the authority to do it without House permission.
The deal would fund the government through September and includes nearly $1.4 billion for 55 miles of fencing, far less than the president wanted. Dave?
Rachel, something else that may soon get a vote. That Green New Deal pushed by Democrats, including Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as a way to fight climate change. Republicans say it'll hurt the economy.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he wants to put it up for a vote.
We'll give everybody an opportunity to go on record and see how they feel about the Green New Deal.
The proposal, as introduced in the House and Senate, is nothing more than a non-binding resolution setting goals of net zero greenhouse gas emissions in 10 years.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern, a police detective gunned down in New York City as officers responded to a robbery at Queens T-Mobile store last night.
The officers then entered the store, immediately saw a man fitting the description of the suspect emerge from the back,
pointing at them what appeared to be a handgun.
But NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill says that gun turned out to be a fake, and the detective shot and killed and the sergeant wounded were apparently hit by friendly fire as officers shot and wounded the suspect, who's now hospitalized. In Denver, teachers will be on strike a third day after negotiations with district leaders ended without a deal. They want more pay. This is Fox News.
A winter weather advisory has expired, but blowing and drifting snow in our far western and far northern suburbs still a problem. Also a problem along I-65 in northwest Indiana, and as you travel south on I-55 and on I-57. This morning, I'm Mike Scott. On AM 560, The Answer. Locally here in Chicago, northbound Lakeshore Drive is open, a big relief for commuters. One day after being closed because of cracked steel beams. CDOT's Rebecca Scheinfeld.
We have full confidence that the shoring we have in place now is making this a safe and fully functional roadway.
CDOT believes the damage was caused by corrosion exacerbated by extreme weather. A candidate running for First Ward Alderman in Chicago apologizing over a controversial photograph. A picture appeared online showing Daniel Laspada wearing a banana costume while posing with friends in monkey masks and with African-American children. Laspada says there were no ill intents behind the photograph, but he understands how it could be perceived as racist. A suburban man charged with involuntary manslaughter after his wife died in a hot tub over the weekend. Eric Huska appeared in court yesterday after Laura Huska was found unresponsive Saturday night in the couple's backyard hot tub in Wheeling. A memorial service held later today to remember Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer on the first anniversary of his murder. Chicago Police Department chaplains will lead the service at noon at the Thompson Center in the Loop. While spring training is officially underway for the Cubs, still controversy for the team as shortstop Addison Russell will be able to go through workouts with the team in spite of being suspended by Major League Baseball until May 3rd for violating MLB's domestic violence policy. Bruins beat the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston. Hawks stay 4 points, though, behind the Wild for a wild card spot in the West due to a Wild loss. Bulls and Grizzlies tonight at the United Center, while the White Sox pitchers and catchers are reporting. The news is a service of Hellsberg Diamonds. Valentine's Day is Thursday, February 14th. What gift are you getting for the one you love? Save $400 on the half-carat total weight diamond heart pendant. Now $299.99. Show Cupid who's boss this Valentine's Day at Hellsberg Diamonds. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity explains why Trump's policies are working.
The economy added a really strong 304,000 jobs last month, higher than analysts, again, were expecting. So you watch this conservatism works. Conservative policies that the president has implemented has now created 5 million new jobs. That's the forgotten men and women that we were talking about in 2016.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joel Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time. So you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Attention everyone. I have a President's Day pro tip. You need to go to Dell.com/business deals right now because Dell's President's Day sale is live as we speak. And it's monumental. Get deals on Dell business computers with 8th Gen Intel Core processors and business tech, plus doorbusters up to 45% off. Call 877-BUY-DELL now to talk to Dell's small business technology advisors and get personalized help finding the best tech at President's Day prices. Free shipping included. Again, call 877-BUY-DELL.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Winter or summer, rain or shine, with the Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
6:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
We're seeing snowy travel conditions on I-65 south of Merrillville. Speeds are severely reduced, and southbound on 65, there's a closure from 231 at Crown Point to State Road 2 in Lowell. Wreck involving two semis. Mile marker 244 has the roadway shut down. There's a fuel leak involved as well. The Aiden's Expressway looks good. Kennedy inbound. Scattered delays between 190 and Central. It's 25 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 22. Inbound Eisenhower. 35 minutes 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Stevenson 40 minutes 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 25 minutes 95 to downtown. I-57 Bishop Ford both 18 minutes 90 to the merge. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
It'll be breezy today, partly sunny with a high 28, partly cloudy tonight, low 22, but temperatures rise into the 30s. Clouds and milder, shower tomorrow, high 43. Cloudy and cold Friday, high 23. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
14 at O'Hare, 16 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping you powered up no matter what the conditions.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Look, we got more swag.
Oh, my goodness.
Our general manager just tweeted me this picture. I said, where's my Chicago's Morning Answer dog toy? And then our girl Friday there, Justin, got it for me. Look at this.
This is great. So I thought it was something else at first, but I'm not going to tell you what I thought it was. But this is really nice. So let's see if Bunky likes it. I'll tweet a picture. See if Bunky likes it. See if Hayek likes it.
I assume you go to the website to get the swag.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson from 5 to 9.
Yeah, you answer like
they're watching at home. Here you
a
go.
vocabulary question
Here,
or something.
fetch.
You win one of these.
Go
so
get
you
it,
got,
Dan. Go.
Look at what's happening. Did somebody here win a lottery ticket? What's with all the marketing swag we got the Words with Prof refrigerator magnet. We got the dog toy.
I still like the Words for Prof. And again, if you want to get your Words for Prof so you can play along at home.
Words with Prof.
Words with
you used
Prof.
the wrong preposition.
Excuse me. Go to 560theanswer.com/words with Prof. All one word.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I was thinking we probably have to have a series of these magnets because I'd like to categorize them. I'd like to have a magnet that's just dedicated to Latin phrases.
Okay.
Like
I'm still trying to get
ad
through.
Hominem, post hoc ergo prompter hoc, reductio ad absurdum. All the Latin phrases I like to use, and also one with French words.
Oh, please.
But noir, folie douce, dilettante. You really need to categorize these, I think, to have maximum enjoyment.
Pronunciation.
Of what?
Where? This one.
Recalcitrant.
Recalcitrant.
Synonym would be obstinate.
Oh, okay.
Does that help?
Apparatchik.
Think Ocasio-Cortez and the suffragettes.
There
the
you
suffragettes
go.
would be
Okay.
her apparatchiks.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of Russia, maybe I need a whole Russian magnet too.
Mellifluous.
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 Yeah.
I'll just stick with Spalding, virtual signaling, governor, fungible. Those are easier.
And I
words.
should have a magnet for vocabulary words just for Iowa grads. Also, I think that's what you're saying, and I don't disagree. But going back to apparatchiks, hey, look, we got some new information about that Mueller investigation. Yeah, it's still going on. And here's my question about it. Does it turn out that the Mueller investigation has been a godsend to President Trump and Republicans, but particularly President Trump, of course? Is this going to turn out to be one of the best things to happen to Trump politically as you look ahead, not look behind at 2 years of consternation, as you look ahead to 2020? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Here's why I say that. John Dowd, the president's former counsel, right? Yeah. Veteran criminal defense attorney, told ABC News, I don't think there'll be a report. I will be shocked if anything regarding the president is made public. What? Other than we're done. He doesn't think there is any sort of Mueller report forthcoming that will be made publicly accessible. Now, both Barr, the incoming attorney general, as I think Whitaker said the same thing, acting attorney general, they would make public what they could. It's a sort of an open-ended question at this point. But Dow thinks nothing is coming public except we're done. He goes on to say, I know exactly what Mueller has. I know exactly what every witness said, what every document said. I know exactly what he asked, and I know what the conclusion or the result is. There's no basis. There's no exposure. It's been a terrible waste of time. Now, Dowd is a former counsel to the president.
Right.
So he's not representing him in any official capacity anymore. And that doesn't mean he still doesn't have loyalties or whatever, but Dowd is putting his longstanding reputation as a respected criminal defense attorney on the line when he says all this. Sort of remarkable. Oh, and by the way, over on the Senate side of the investigation, right, you got Adam Schiff, the representative from Area 51, and the Moonbats in the House, but then you got the Senate. Richard Burr, who chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee, Republican from North Carolina, he tells ABC, if we write a report based on the facts that we have, then we don't have anything that would suggest there was collusion by the Trump campaign in Russia. That was a CBS News. He went on to talk to the other networks. We know we're getting to the bottom of the barrel because there's not new questions that we're searching for answers to. He told NBC, there is no factual evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. So it's interesting. The Democrat response on the Senate side was, this was the best iteration of it. We were never going to find a contract signed in blood saying, hey, Vlad, we're going to collude. Yeah, I know. And that's a funny way to try and deflect away from this fact. All you have is a bunch of dots with no connectors.
And all they have is 5 ex-Trump aides who struck plea deals with Mueller during this investigation, where they mostly lied to the FBI or to Congress.
Process crimes that occurred during the investigation, not anything Mueller was charged to investigate in terms of what had occurred.
Yeah, and none of them led to collusion or alleged collusion.
But these are remarkable statements. By the way, Richard Burr has been an ardent defender of the Mueller investigation, of letting it play out, of believing in Mueller's integrity. So this is no sort of a rote Trump loyalist, Richard Burr. And again, when you make these sort of declarative statements, you're putting your reputation on line. Of all of a sudden there's evidence that comes to light that suggests something substantially different than what you're saying. And these people, Richard Burr, the president's former counsel, John Dowd, would be in a position to know a hell of a lot more than anybody, including us, talking about it in the media. So I asked the question again, thinking about this in context, building this into sort of the price of supporting Trump and letting this play out, taking the slings and arrows, mostly President Trump taking the slings and arrows, and offering some in return, of course. Does it turn out that this is going to be an asset, the Mueller investigation, for Trump going into the 2020 election because here's what he'll have to say. I didn't interfere.
Right.
I let it play out. They had their guy, Mueller. I didn't fire anybody. I mean, except Comey. That was for cause. That was part of the investigation. And I listened to all of the former Obama apparatchiks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Put that on your board.
Sure. In terms of clap on, clap off James Clapper and John Brennan and Comey after he was dismissed. We saw what happened at the upper echelons of leadership of the FBI that were holdovers from the Obama era. Let it all play out, and here's what they've got. Nothing. If what Dowd and Burr are saying turns out to be substantiated by the facts or the report, to the extent we see anything of the report, and the presidential response perhaps connected to that report, released simultaneously, perhaps. But if that's what it turns out, look, I allowed them to do a full proctology exam. They had the resources. They had the time. It went to its natural conclusion. And you know what they found? Nothing. So now I'm the most vetted candidate for president in the history of the United States, one might argue. And frankly, the most mistreated by the top law enforcement agencies in the country. And I survived it all because I let it play out and I let the facts go, and I let the investigation go where it would in pursuit of answers to questions people had. Did I think it was a witch hunt the entire time? Yes, and I said so. And guess what? I turned out to be right. If that's what Trump can say and the evidence bears that statement out, man, doesn't that enhance his position for 20?
Oh, yeah.
Candace in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
I like the clever use of words. It's like ilk, but sounds smarter. Okay, Dan, if this is all true, why is Manafort starving to death, still in confinement by himself? I would like to know why every conservative pundit isn't railing on this, because the left would do it to anybody that they could.
Well, Mueller charged him with hiding his lobbying work and money that they made from the government,
but that's
as well as other
IRS
financial
stuff.
crimes.
Well, it's more than IRS stuff. It's violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and so forth. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the call, Candace.
I mean, did he get caught because he was, the campaign chairman for President Trump for a short bit? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, obviously.
Would they have ever looked into Manafort's business and prosecuted him on that level, gone for the penalties they've gone for if he wasn't the campaign chairman for Trump for a period of time? No, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't have any sympathy for Manafort per se. There's an argument about whether he violated his plea arrangement, and now that's being litigated. But, look, I don't – I will say what I've said from the beginning. Trump surrounded himself with some bad people, some goofs, some slippery characters. And so he's gotten some slime on him as a result of those that he chose to surround himself with. And that's on him. But that doesn't make out a Russian collusion case. And it doesn't make out illegality.
On an ancillary issue, Michael Cohen was supposed to testify yesterday in Congress. Again, for the third time, he's postponing. He said that he had pain from shoulder surgery. Well, on Saturday night, he was out with the boys in New York at a schwanky restaurant. So, I mean, he's a hot mess.
Yeah.
If you're going to call in sick for your congressional testimony, don't go out and party the night before. Just a piece of advice.
There's a great witness for the state there. By the way, nice use of the word ancillary.
Oh, can we put that on a magnet?
Sure.
Words with Amy. Hi.
Your magnet will be Word with Amy. Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Hey, listen, this thing, one of the best things that could come out of it is to turn this thing right around on Mueller. Nobody talks about it. That Mueller was the top FBI guy when the uranium deal was going on with Hillary Clinton. Those guys are all in cahoots. He was involved in that, knew how dirty with Russia and everything, all that was. And he probably got a lot of money back then. Someone needs to turn this thing around and expose the fact he is a dirty, dirty cop, that guy. That Mueller is always in the shadows with all kinds of bad things that have happened in the past, and nobody talks about it. Need to turn it around on that guy.
Thanks for the call, Craig. I mean, I think his work product will speak for itself. And the reviews of that work product will define Mueller. So I just leave it there. I don't think you have to go further than that. John and Palatine.
Hi, Dan and Amy.
Hello.
Listen, I just noticed, I think Dan's magnet is really making an impact, at least with Sean from Elmwood Park, because I notice he's using the word apparatchik in about every third sentence now. So it's really working.
That's great. Thanks for the call, John. It's never too late to get hooked on phonics, to learn the English language, not even for Sean from Elmwood Park. So, consider it a public service.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We are ready for Fioretti.
I'm former Alderman Bob Fioretti asking for your vote for mayor. For 10 years, on every important issue, property taxes, more police officers, mass school closings, and more, I fought for you against the political ruling class. I always will. If you like how our city is run, the corruption, violent crime rate, insider deals, I'm now your candidate. If you're for structural change in Chicago, you're ready for Fioretti. Punch 35 for Bob Fioretti for mayor. Thank you. Paid for by friends at Bob Fioretti.
Oh, the cold and flu season is upon us, and the only way to help yourself is to boost your immune system. And guess what? Guess what you can do to do that? You could take Balance of Nature. They have 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost that immune system all winter long. All of your coworkers are coughing and sneezing and sniffling, and you want to avoid getting sick, don't you? Then treat yourself to a few bottles of Balance of Nature. You've heard the testimonials on this air, and I could tell you they are 100% real. Why? Well, I spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature, and he showed me the emails. He played the voicemails from real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off your order, wow, by using promo code Chicago. So go online, balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago for 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. Or you can call the 800 number, talk to a consultant. Actually, they're a coach, too. They can walk you through all of the wonderful properties of Balance of Nature. That number to call is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago.
What if the kid who cut your grass worked like most financial advisors? Instead of a straight up $20, you get some confusing bill with surcharges and add-ons. What the heck is a blade height adjustment fee? Creative planning is different. Our fiduciary advisors work off one transparent fee structure, and we never receive commissions on your investments. Dial 866-435-9710 for a free no-obligation consultation with Creative Planning. Investment strategies recommended by Creative Planning are not assured of earning a profit or avoiding a loss in declining markets.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Hey, listen. Did you hear that? That's the sound of silence, the absent sound of your loved one's laugh, the phone that never rings, the void left because you convinced yourself their addiction was under control. Don't let the shame of addiction prevent you from addressing their disease. USA Addiction knows that the first step is the hardest. That's why they help guide you through the journey to recover with care and compassion. Their nationally certified family recovery coaches lead you every step of the way, from a free initial conversation to planning an intervention to finding the best facility that will save your loved one's life. Go to freeaddictionbook.com and enter your email to their confidential portal. You'll receive their free guide to family addiction and intervention and free consultation. And that's freeaddictionbook.com for a real solution to prevent that heartache. Now is the time to take action. USA Addiction, helping Americans one step at a time.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Carl Spackler's back. Yes. And this is a great gift for the looper in your life. A new documentary, Loopers, The Caddy's Long Walk, narrated by Chicago's very own Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Carl
Good.
Spackler. Yeah. It's great.
As a former caddy, I'm sure you're going to love this.
I'm already looking forward
Where
to
did you caddy again? Chicago?
Chicago Golf Club, the oldest 18-hole course in America.
Chicago Golf Club. Oh, I'm going to Conway Farm soon.
Good for
you.
you.
Play 18 by myself.
When is that? In late February, or when is that going to be?
Somebody's told me they got a tea time for me.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to go.
Filmed on location everywhere from Augusta to the old course at St. Andrews in Scotland. The film examines the place of the caddy in golf history. I wonder if I'll be in it. As well as the relationship and bonds golfer and caddy developed through their time together on the links. This is great. I'm looking forward to this. I hope they profile the story of Matt Kuchar and El Toucan.
What's that?
Did you see this? No. Matt Kuchar, caddy's public enemy number one. Matt Kuchar needed a substitute caddy at the Mayakoba Golf Classic past November. I played that course.
Oh, that's
when we
right,
were
in
Punta Cana.
Yeah, in Cap Cana. It's
right.
a private gated area.
It's a great track. It was a lot of fun. So they have a PGA tournament there.
Yeah.
Kuchar's needed a substitute caddy, so he got El Toucan, whose real name is David Hiral Ortiz. Kuchar won the tournament. $1.296 million was the winning purse.
Was the purse, yeah. How much did he get as a caddy? What's the tip on that?
Well, what do you think he should get?
10% of it.
Yeah, that's about
standard.
That's
standard, right?
Right. So that'd be $130,000 round number.
You know what? I figured that out.
He got $5,000.
Oh.
And so this story started to circulate. Then remember, this tournament was back in November of last year.
Oh, that's bad.
He got $5,000, and
that's bull jive.
He wrote in. He contacted Kuchar's agent, and his agent is Mark Steinberg. Said, "I'm not looking to disparage Matt or give him a bad name. Fair is fair, and I feel like I was taking advantage of it by placing my trust in Matt." Steinberg responded, "I'm out of the country. What Matt offered is fair." Well,
it's not fair.
No.
Poor form, buddy.
Ortiz said he and Kuchar had an agreement for $3,000 at the outset, plus an unspecified amount of the player's winnings. He was disappointed when he counted $5,000 in the envelope Kuchar handed him on Sunday night after he won. So what happened? What started out this great story, and this guy substitutes for Kuchar's regular tour caddy, and he wins $5,000 out of $1.26 million to $1.296 million. No,
it's laughable.
No.
Yeah.
No. On the bright side, Ortiz says he's getting more caddy gigs at the Mayakoba Resort since adding a PGA Tour win to his resume, I'm sure. I'm going to look for him next time we're down in Punta Cana. Here's the thing. This is what's great. That's why I love this guy. So when this story started to circulate and it started to look, like Kuchar's cheapskate, which he is apparently, Kuchar offered him an additional $15,000 for a total of $20,000.
No, he's making Scottie Pippen look really good right now.
No Tippin
Pippen. No Tippin Kuchar.
Doesn't rhyme.
But you know what? It's karma. It's going to come back and get him. Trust me.
Offered an additional $15,000 to El Toucan, and I love caddies that have nicknames. He told him to go pound sand. Keep your money. No, $15,000 is a lot of money for this guy, and on principle he said, "You're cheating me. I don't want it." Good for him, and terrible for Matt Kuchar. Terrible story. All right, so remember Matt Kuchar, remember El Toucan if you go down to the Dominican to play Mayakoba, and pick up Loopers, the caddy's long walk for the looper love in your life. Amy.
Yeah. I'm going to watch that movie. And also, too, you can play golf with Dan if you go with us to Mexico. We're leaving April 6th through April 13th. Our good friends over there at Apple Vacations have lined up a trip with us. We're staying at a beautiful hotel, the Maraval Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico.
That music follows you around.
It does. 6 gourmet restaurants, 2 bars, unlimited premium drinks, 24-hour room service. And these rooms are huge. They're bigger than my house, and I'm not kidding. 1,400 square feet. Also, 9 golf courses. There's the Flamingo course, which is associated with our hotel, Dan, that you are going to love. You can also snorkel, play tennis, or head to the spa. Just hang out with us for a week in beautiful Nuevo Vallarta.
Maybe I'll take El Tucan as my +1.
Oh, that's
yeah.
You know what? And right now, you can enter to win a trip to join us by going to 560theanswer.com/passport and click on the Enter to Win button. It's always fun to see who wins this because we always become very good friends with the people who win the trip. 560theanswer.com/passport and good luck. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Kamala Harris is positively giggly over her support for dope legalization at 6:36.
But first, let's head into the newsroom. Mike Scott.
16 degrees, blowing and drifting snow still a problem along I-65, I-88, I-90, I-55, and 57 in central Illinois. New York City Police detective is dead. Another officer shot in the thigh, recovering. After a Tuesday night shooting, it happened at a Queens cell phone store. They may have been victims of friendly fire. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan is in Brussels for this week's meeting with NATO ministers. U.S. allies know basically nothing about this man, they say, who is following retired Pentagon Chief Jim Mattis. President Trump thinking about hosting a big parade in Washington, D.C. in July.
Perhaps at the Lincoln Memorial, we're looking at sites, but we're thinking about doing something which would become perhaps a tradition.
Cost would not be a big deal. There's already a massive celebration at the Lincoln Memorial on July 4th. The woman who first came forward with sexual assault allegations against Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax is speaking out. Yesterday, Dr. Vanessa Tyson spoke at a Me Too movement event at Stanford University.
Because every woman matters. Every survivor matters, regardless of their background, regardless of where they come from.
Tyson talked about the connections between sexual violence and persistent inequality. Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal, Democrats both, proposing a bill that would ban large-capacity gun magazines.
There is no more simple, straightforward way to save lives from gun violence than to ban these high-capacity magazines and to take them off the streets.
The Connecticut senators are joined by colleague Bob Menendez of New Jersey. A northbound Lakeshore Drive bridge here in Chicago back open 1 day after being closed because of cracked steel beams.
We have full confidence that the shoring we have in place now is making this a safe and fully functional roadway.
CDOT's Rebecca Scheinfeld. Chicago public school teacher is accused of sexually assaulting a former student in Skokie. A judge ordered Jason Gill held without bail yesterday. Chicago sports, Bruins over the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston, snapping that 7-game win streak. Bulls welcome the Grizzlies tonight to the United Center. College hoops, DePaul lost to number 10 Marquette, Northern Illinois. Our Huskies lost to Western Michigan in the MAC, and SIU in the Valley lost to Drake. The news service of Peloton, live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike. It brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. 6:35, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Marvel Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with Summer OPS. Opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org. The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers for an intimate gathering or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com. Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Let me ask you something. What would an extra income stream mean to you every month? How would that change things for you? More vacation time? Could you secure your retirement, spend more time with your family? Well, Online Trading Academy is a leader in training and investment education. Learn about how money is really made in the financial markets and how investing in them could be your pathway to achieving financial freedom. They will help you learn skills designed to be mastered and applied to generate monthly cash flow. At Online Trading Academy, thousands of people just like you have discovered an education path designed to allow them to reinvent themselves and take control of their finances. I'm so impressed with Online Trading Academy that I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Just call 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-TRADE. Get 2 free passes to their next class so you can check this all out. This is a limited opportunity and seats go quickly, so call 888-984-TRADE or visit them online at tradingacademy.com.
6:39, a check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Crash with injuries in McHenry thwarting Chapel Hill at 120. Southbound I-65 remains closed from 231 and Crown Point State Road 2. There's a wreck involving 2 semis and a fuel leak south of Merrillville. It's slow going and snowy on I-65. Edens runs 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 40 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 14 on the Express. On Eisenhower, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 429. Northbound Tri-State, slow Plainfield Road to Ogden. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny and breezy today, high 28. Currently, at O'Hare, we have fair skies and 12, but there are flurries along the lakefront. 14 along Meigs Field, we used to call Meigs Field. 14 at Midway, 11 and fair skies in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
They call it a selfie. I can't even say the word without sweating. I can't stand the word.
On AM 560.
I call it taking a lonely.
But first, let me take a selfie.
The Answer.
That's Beshe Maniscalco's funny. So wait, I was conflating golf courses. We were talking about Kuchar's caddy, that tournament, Mayakoba. Mayakoba's Playa del Carmen, where we went.
Yes.
I was thinking it was in Dominican, so I was just remembering all of the golf courses and all of the tropical locales that we've played over the last several
All we
years.
know is that we want to play with you in Nueva Vallarta at the Flamingo course. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad we set the record straight. Still looking up L2CAM when I get back down to Playa del Carmen, and still say shame, shame, shame on Matt Kuchar. Switching gears, a couple of interesting pieces authored over the last few weeks, including in Primus, which is published by Hillsdale College. Alex Berenson is a Yale graduate and a journalist for the New York Times who covered the pharmaceutical industry. His wife was a senior psychiatrist at Mid-Hudson Forensic Psychiatric Institute. It's one of 3 places the state of New York sends the criminally mentally ill, defendants judged not guilty by reason of insanity. The topic is marijuana. And as Berenson writes, almost everything you think you know about the health effects of cannabis, almost everything advocates and the media have told you for a generation is wrong. So are you ready for this? Since everybody, is there a mayoral candidate for Chicago who does not support the legalization of marijuana? Some maybe are not enthusiastically, but recognize it's coming at the state level, so they want to get their cut. And obviously, Governor Spalding is full force to legalize marijuana because,
they can use it to help pay off the pension debt.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I liked what Paul Vallis said yesterday. Use it to help, those with opioid addictions.
Sure. Legalize drugs to help drug abusers. That's about the logic of the political class in this state. So as you're thinking about this, and we're all celebrating because we love the mob economy in Chicago and Illinois, gambling, drugs, someday prostitution if Danny Solis gets his way.
Too soon. Way too soon.
By the way, has there been an APB?
No, we can't find him.
I know.
I even called his cell phone number and it says he's not taking phone calls right now.
Well, that's the point. APB to all the Chicagoland area massage parlors to locate him.
Nobody's filed a missing persons report. I did check, but he has not showed up for his job. I mean, he stepped down from the committee he's on, but he's still an alderman. And his constituents can't find him, and they ask him where he is, and people go, shrug their shoulders. I don't know.
Yeah. A 25th Ward shutdown. Can you tell the difference in your life between Solis being there or not being there, other than you don't have to pay extortion payments as long as he's not around? Okay, so back to marijuana. So I bring this up because it's being celebrated at the national level, too. Remember, here's where we're at. We've got 10 states and the District of Columbia have legalized recreational marijuana. Another 8 look likely to do so in 2019, including Illinois.
Well, Colorado, the first state to legalize marijuana, just reached its $6 billion in sales.
I know, it's great, right? Here's Kamala Harris. She's a candidate for president. She's a senator from California. She was on this Breakfast Club show that Cory Booker was on. Remember we played him last week talking about his boo?
My kids love that show. I don't know why. They think it's really cool. They're like, she was on Breakfast Club. Oh, what did she say?
And the host is a guy named Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's down with cool, man. Be like one of the cool kids. Yo.
Well, Kamala wants to be like one of the cool kids talking about smoking dope and how much fun she has. Because how much joy it brings.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in
and
college,
I inhaled. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. But yes.
I know you have to go. They say you have to go.
I just broke loose.
I mean, was it in college? See, I like stuff like that. That's a real honest answer.
Real.
Was it a blunt or joint?
It was a joint.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you remember the high?
I do.
So if it was legalized all throughout the country and medicinal,
are you high right now?
Do it
Listen, I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
We need more joy in this world.
Somebody need a bag of Doritos? Yeah, comfortably numb indeed. Good idea. Legalize marijuana. How about nationally? Take the heavy lifting off of the backs of state and local. Peter Bach is a pulmonary physician at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. He's okay with the move to legalize recreational marijuana. But he also says this. We should set the record straight, lest young people and old ones think marijuana is good for you because it is wrongly labeled a medication. Actual medicines have research behind them, enumerating their benefits, characterizing their harms, and ensuring the former supersedes the latter. Marijuana doesn't. It's a toxin, not a medicine. It's a toxin, not a medicine. It impairs judgment and driving ability, increases the risk of psychosis and schizophrenia. Smoking, it damages the respiratory tract. A 2017 report from the National Academy of Medicine called the evidence for these harms substantial. Advocates like to note the cannabidiol, an extract of the plant, is an approved medication for epilepsy. But medicine from a plant does not make the plant medicine. It's like a poodle is a dog, but not all dogs are poodles. Google foxglove, he writes, the plant from which the cardiac drug digitalis is derived. First hit show it's a pretty flower, but soon you get the number for poison control. Everything you think you know and have been told by the media, political, industrial complex, who are looking for new revenue sources, who are predatory in nature, because that's what government has become, preying on constituents, because they want to continue to spend to aggrandize their power. Nothing makes it easier to make people dependent on you than if they're all drugged up, right? Going back to Alex Berenson and his piece in Imprimis, marijuana, mental illness, and violence. His wife, Jackie, the senior psychiatrist at the Mid-Hudson Forensic Psychiatric Institute. Many of Mid-Hudson's 300 patients are killers and arsonists. At least one is a cannibal. Most have been diagnosed with psychotic disorders like schizophrenia that provoke them to violence against family members or strangers. A couple of years ago, Jackie was telling me about a patient. In passing, she said something like, "Of course he'd been smoking pot his whole life." Of course, I said. Yes, they all smoke. So marijuana causes schizophrenia? Question mark. I was surprised, to say the least, writes Berenson. I tended to be a libertarian on drugs. Years before, I covered the pharmaceutical industry for the New York Times. I was aware of the claims about marijuana as medicine, toxin, not medicine, we just heard. And I watched the slow spread of legalized cannabis without much interest. His wife said, rather than saying, I know what I'm talking about, you don't, she just said, go read the studies. Berenson writes, so I did. The big studies, the little ones, and all the rest. I read everything I could find. I talked to every psychiatrist and brain scientist who would talk to me. And I soon realized that in all my years as a journalist, I had never seen a story where the gap between insider and outsider knowledge was so great or the stakes so high. I began to wonder why, with the stocks of cannabis companies soaring and politicians promoting legalization as a low-risk way to raise tax revenue and reduce crime, I had never heard the truth about marijuana, mental illness, and violence. In reality, the medicinal effects, in reality, like alcohol, marijuana is too weak as a painkiller to work for most people who truly need opiates. Even the co-founder of the Marijuana Policy Project acknowledges that they have always viewed medical marijuana laws primarily as a way to protect recreational users. It was always medical marijuana was the gateway argument for recreational marijuana because this is about profits and tax revenue. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. You still willing to get all giggly like Kamala over marijuana legalization? You're willing to kind of roll over and say, well, it's going to happen anyway in Illinois and elsewhere, so we might as well sit back and enjoy it, get some revenue. Maybe have a doobie.
Well, what's next on the legalization of cocaine? I mean, is this a gateway drug to other things?
Well, it's a gateway drug politically. The drug is money. That's the real drug here.
We need
marijuana.
revenue, right.
Marijuana can cause or worsen severe mental illness, especially psychosis, the medical term for break from reality. Teenagers who smoke marijuana regularly are about 3 times as likely to develop schizophrenia,
my gosh,
which is obviously the most devastating psychotic disorder. Again, National Academy of Medicine's 2017 study that was also referenced by the Sloan Kettering doctor. Cannabis use is likely to increase the risk of developing schizophrenia and other psychoses. The higher the use, the greater the risk. Also, Regular cannabis use is likely to increase the risk for developing social anxiety disorder. A gateway drug, American Journal of Psychiatry, 2018. People who used cannabis in 2001 were almost 3 times as likely to use opiates 3 years later, even adjusting for other potential risks. The other thing that's happening with legalization, the concentration. It's more potent, right? In the 1970s, the last time many Americans used cannabis, most marijuana contained less than 2% THC. Today, marijuana routinely contains 20 to 25% THC.
I hate pot. I wouldn't smoke, but I have friends, Dan, who smoke it. They don't drink and they smoke pot, and some of the smartest people I know.
For now. Research from Finland and Denmark.
They've been doing it for decades.
Yeah, so.
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm just saying that they don't believe in alcohol. And they're like, why can't I get a buzz on or do something that relaxes me? You can drink, and I can have that.
You're the kind of, this is what I want to do, so just let me do it. You do other things, kind of. I'm not interested in it. That's just all that's navel-gazing, self-referential bull jive. Just giving you what the science is. Do people want to have a scientific discussion about this? Or do you just want to pretend that the marketing done by the media political complex is the last word on the topic? Research from Finland and Denmark, 2 countries that track mental illness more comprehensively. Significant increase in psychosis in 2000 following an increase in cannabis use. Oh. I mean, if you don't care about mental illness, which everybody pretends to care about, if you don't care about the heightened risks that are posed by marijuana use, if you don't care about the truth, you want to believe, you want to delude yourself into believing it's a medicine, not a toxin, as the Sloan Kettering doctor said, fine, do whatever you want. But don't pretend that something is not what it is. Don't pretend that marijuana is a medicine when it's a toxin. Don't pretend that there are no risks associated. Don't pretend that this isn't predatory government looking to get through your back pocket what it can't take through your front pocket. Don't pretend that it's not politicians who like their electorate doped up. And by the way, to borrow from Anthony Esselin, because one thing is legal that can be abused and have all sorts of deleterious side effects and implications like alcohol abuse, then anything goes. We should try to do what we can where we can. And this is in its infancy, even still. So I'm saying, do you want to be honest with yourselves? These are people, again, the Sloan Kettering doctor, I favor the move of legalization, but he's just telling you the science. Berenson sounds, I don't know him. We're going to try to get him on the show, but he sounds from the read left of center. This isn't ideological. You're either interested in facts or you're not. You're interested in research or you're not. But don't give me the kind of morally equivalent lines of, you drink alcohol, I smoke weed, it's just to each his own. Fine, to each his own. Now let's talk about the facts. Now let's talk about the science. Now let's talk about the research. And then tell me how this makes sense and how it should be promoted. Should we be purposely oblivious to it? Or should we be fully forthright about it? That's the question. Dan in Libertyville.
All right, thanks for taking my call. I've got a really good example of this for you. It's in Highland Park. A young man named Colin Nutter was murdered by 3 fellow high school students or recently high school graduates of Highland Park. He thought they were his friends. They contemplated and worked on a way in which to secretly get him to go out, and then they murdered him. All 3 of them were together. They planned it together, and they did for a bag of weed that wasn't even worth $200. Now, you won't hear about this much in the news. They cover it up because Highland Park wants a dispensary in their town. It's kind of hard to acknowledge that 4 of your youth have destroyed their lives, their families' lives, their friends' lives, and over something that you wish to sell now in your town.
Thanks, Dan. Again, look, do we want to do what we want to do? Fine. Bring a brothel to Highland Park. Danny Solis will patronize it. He'll bring his friends from the city council. What's the difference, right? It's just about people as revenue agents. Anything for money. Robert in Bloomingdale.
Hello?
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, they just look at it as revenue. If they can collect as much revenue as they collect from alcohol right now, that's all they care about. You know, they'll hire some more of their friends to get them more political jobs. That's all they care about.
Thanks, Robert. Mike on the north side.
Good morning, Dan. Usually you are the voice of reason in a sea of mediocrity.
Yeah, still am.
But I have to take issue with you on this. You know, facts don't matter. In fact, I think that is the slogan of one of the radio stations down the dial. Facts don't matter. But we need this marijuana. Now, I couldn't invest in the marijuana. I was too late getting on that train. But we're going to fund the Chicago LGBT party. We're going to have mobile catering trucks, nacho Doritos, Twinkies, cupcakes, and ho-hos. We're going to make a killing on that. And we're going to use that money to start a political party to take this city back.
All right, thanks for the call, Mike. And Kamala Harris will be your first customer.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump may hold off on new tariffs with China. California pulling the plug on $77 billion boondoggle, and FedEx adding 700 jobs in Memphis. Those stories next.
Hi, we're here with Alexander Green, four-time best-selling author and chief investment strategist of the Oxford Club. Alex is a stock-picking legend. He calls 6 of the best stocks of the past 20 years, including Apple, Intuitive Surgical, Netflix, Varian, Amazon, and Celgene. Now, Alex, I understand you're targeting a new stock.
Yes, it's a cutting-edge tech company making blockbuster deals. I'm talking about $450 million with Nokia, $395 million with Microsoft, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. The company is set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump himself even calls what they're doing the 8th wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of it because this $3 stock trades under a secret name.
Alex just got on stage in front of a packed crowd to talk about this secret stock, and you can see his free presentation at onestockretirement.com. Don't wait on this. We expect the stock to make big national news in March. Go to onestockretirement.com now.
Declaring things are going well in the trade talks with China, President Trump says he might let the March 1st deadline slide if both countries are close to a deal. Lifting the deadline would prevent new tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. California's new governor, Gavin Newsom, has decided to abandon plans to build a $77 billion high-speed rail line between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Newsom says the project, started by his predecessor, Jerry Brown, has ballooned out of control and become far too expensive. FedEx Logistics will establish a new headquarters in downtown Memphis, installing about 700 jobs. CEO Richard Smith says his company will move into an iconic building formerly occupied by the Gibson Guitar Company. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
The bill could finally be written by today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A plan to fund the government with a bipartisan border security compromise.
I would hope that there won't be a shutdown. I am extremely unhappy with what the Democrats have given us.
It only gives the president a quarter of the $5.7 billion he wanted for a border wall, but Republican Congressman Louis Gohmert says he should consider signing it.
It's an admission that, yes, border walls do make a difference. They're not immoral. There's money here for the president to protect us.
Gohmert wants President Trump to then find funding from elsewhere to build more wall, but Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says
he doesn't have the authority to do it without House permission.
Well, there could be another way to fund more wall at the border. Use El Chapo's money. Republican Senator Ted Cruz has a plan to divert some of the Mexican drug lord Joaquin Guzman's assets now that he's been convicted in New York City. U.S. Attorney Richard Donahue says El Chapo will likely get life without parole.
It is a sentence from which there is no escape
and no return.
Police in New York City are mourning a detective's death, apparently shot by other officers as they responded to a robbery. Fox's Tanya J. Powers live here in New York.
Detective Brian Simonson, a 19-year veteran, was shot at a T-Mobile store in Queens. That audio from Broadcastify.com. He and another officer had responded to the call when a man came toward them pointing what appeared to be a handgun. NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill says Detective Simonson died, but not from the robber's bullet.
This appears to be an absolute tragic case of friendly fire.
Another officer was shot in the leg and is expected to recover. A fake handgun was recovered from the scene. Dave.
Tanya, for a third day, teachers in Denver will be out picketing. Their strike continues. King was the king at the famed Westminster Dog Show. The Wire Fox Terrier won Best in Show. His handler, Christian Rangel, told Fox Sports 1 King has a bright future.
He should be running around in some grass field.
This is Fox News.
12 degrees, 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A winter weather advisory has expired, but for the far western and northern suburbs, areas south of I-80 and some parts of northwest Indiana, areas of blowing and drifting snow are causing havoc this morning. ComEd crews are working to still restore power to thousands of Chicago area customers in the dark who lost service because of the ice storm that struck the area yesterday. Northbound Lakeshore Drive in Chicago back open a day after it was shut down because of cracked steel beams. CDOT's Rebecca Scheinfeld.
We have full confidence that the shoring we have in place now is making this a safe and fully functional roadway.
It was reopened yesterday after crews put in support towers to brace the bridge. A suburban man is charged with involuntary manslaughter after his wife died in a hot tub over the weekend. Eric Huska appeared in court yesterday after Laura Huska was found unresponsive Saturday night in the couple's backyard hot tub in Wheeling. A memorial service will be held today to remember Chicago Police Commander Paul Bauer on the first anniversary of his murder. The service will be held at the Thompson Center in the Loop. Shamari Leggett has been charged with his murder. Former security guard at Evanston Township High School is accused of sexually assaulting a student in November. Michael Haywood is due in bond court today after turning himself into Evanston police yesterday. Chicago sports, Bruins over the Blackhawks, 6-3 in Boston, snapping that 7-game win streak. Bulls welcome the Grizzlies tonight to the United Center. The news service of Russell Stover. Russell Stover is here to remind you that Valentine's Day is getting close, really close. It's time to pick up the Russell Stover heart-shaped box full of chocolates. Don't forget, go now. Russell Stover, make happy. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The following is a paid political announcement.
A lot of deals have been the Chicago way of doing business. I've never been tied to Chicago political machine. As your next mayor, I propose a citizen review board made up of citizens, law enforcement, city officials that will review the inner workings of City Hall on a quarterly basis. This open door policy will clean up the old corrupt ways and turn City Hall into the People's Hall.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time. So you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Attention everyone. I have a President's Day pro tip. You need to go to Dell.com/business deals right now because Dell's President's Day sale is live as we speak. And it's monumental. Get deals on Dell business computers with 8th Gen Intel Core processors and business tech, plus doorbusters up to 45% off. Call 877-BUY-DELL now to talk to Dell's small business technology advisors and get personalized help finding the best tech at President's Day prices. Free shipping included. Again, call 877-BUY-DELL.
The new year's upon us, the perfect time to get organized, and StoreLock has the solution with StoreLock Modular Systems. It's the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. StoreLock makes it simple and easy to get organized. It's fully assembled when it ships, so you can get organized really fast. And durable StoreLock Modular Systems, they are built the old-fashioned way, made to order, exactly how you want it. Powder-coated in-house in any color you want. You order your custom system just in time for the new year. They're 100% crafted in the U.S., and they feature dividers, liners, layouts, all made with quality materials, including steel ball bearings and heat-treated steel rollers. StoreLock is so strong that each drawer holds up to 400 pounds. StoreLock fits any home or business, will last a lifetime with its 55-year top-to-bottom warranty. All you have to do is order today and receive your system in about 4 weeks. Call now at 1-800-STOR-LOC. That's StoreLock, 1-800-STORE-LOCK. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
Winter or summer, rain or shine, with the Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
7:07, a check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Roadways are icy in North Chicago and snowy in Northwest Indiana. There's a jam on southbound I-65 from 231 to before State Road 2. Two right lanes are blocked with an earlier crash. Northbound traffic is heavy all the way up State Road 10 to 8094. Westbound 8094 is tight in Lansing towards to the Bishop Ford Freeway. Edens is 30 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown quicker than the Express. Eisenhower, 50 minutes, 390 to the Bird Circle. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. To Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, ID to the Merge. Bishop Ford, 32. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny, breezy, and a high at 28. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 22, but temperatures rising into the 30s. Cloudy and milder. We'll see a shower tomorrow, high 43. Clouds and cold Friday, high 23. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 13 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Kristen McQuarrie, friend of the show, writing in the Tribune. Today's quiz, is there a Republican in the race for Chicago mayor? Which of the 14 candidates in the race for Chicago mayor best capture conservative principles of efficient government, low taxation, personal responsibility, and protecting the rights of law-abiding gun owners? Just kidding, there isn't one. But she points out that in a race to, say, 15%, maybe less, of the vote to get to the runoff, the 135,000 votes Trump got in Chicago, for example, in November of 2016, which is only 12.5%, but and a race to 12 to 15%, 12.5% is a big number.
Yeah, you need every single vote.
So Republicans could actually impact the outcome of the mayor's race for the first time in a century by impacting who makes the runoff on February 26th. She points out we talked about, and I co-moderated a forum, candidate forum. 6 of the 14 showed up. Northwest Side Republican Club. The Northwest Side Republican Club and Chicago Young Republicans made an endorsement. They endorsed Willie Wilson.
Really?
Willie Wilson, I would argue, the one successful entrepreneur in the race. As McQuarrie writes, of the endorsement. A businessman who understands the need to reduce taxes and grow Chicago, Wilson comes closest to representing Chicago Young Republicans' principles, says Chicago YR President Chris Myers. Quote, he would lower taxes and lower regulations to grow the economy in all neighborhoods. He also supports school choice, a property tax cap, and the abolition of red light cameras. McQuarrie adds, the support for Wilson actually comes from a genuine place of policy pursuit, not what have you done for me lately posture of establishment political parties. For them, we're talking about Republicans that have endorsed Wilson offers a break from the status quo. And I'll tell you what, it's very interesting. All of the money that Bill Daley is piling up, and he just got $1 million from Ken Griffin.
Ugh. When did that happen? Yesterday?
Yeah, recently. I've seen polling recently that has Preckwinkle in the lead and Willie Wilson in second position. So we've said from the outset of this, in a crowded field, you could have a surprise. Wilson has run before. He's known particularly in some of the black areas of the city. And I'm sorry to say that we say black areas of the city, Latino areas of the city, because we're the most segregated city in America, which is another shameful reality in Chicago. And that surprise could come in the form of Willie Wilson, who, because of his success in business, has been able to largely underwrite his campaign and compete, not dollar for dollar, but compete on the airwaves with the likes of the Bill Daleys and the Tony Preckwinkles.
Yeah, I mean, he was invited to the Fox 32
yes, that's right.
debate. And there was no question. He was one of the top 5 that was there.
Very interesting times, and we're pleased to be joined again by the aforesaid Willie Wilson. Willie, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan, Amy, how you guys doing?
Good. Good to have you. You seem to be doing pretty well, some momentum, and your reaction to the support from officially licensed Republican organizations like the Chicago Young Republicans and the Northwest Side GOP.
Well, I'm very appreciative of their support. I mean, I look at it not only as Democrat, Republican, but all citizens of Chicago. I mean, when you pay taxes, taxes goes up higher. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. I mean, you don't need these taxes going up when people are leaving out of their homes and leaving out of the city and leaving out of the state. So I'm inclusion. I mean, inclusion means putting all different departments filled with Democrat, Republican, and other. It really doesn't matter. You know, I mean, we got a serious problem here. Taxes raised at 8 times, red light cameras, tax on bags, feed-in taxes. That's hurt us all. Well, we Republican, Democrat, and we should be concerned about it. And there's corruption. These politicians right now in office now need lock up. I just be honest with you. They need investigated and lock up if they caught doing something wrong.
Well, first of all, you got to find them. You know, you got to find Danny Solis before you can lock him up.
He's in hiding because he was the snitch. So, Willie Wilson, how do you feel about the legalization of marijuana and what, you know, if it does happen at the state level, how do you want where do you want the revenue to go?
Well, I do support it. One of my point. I don't think that someone should be locked up for using marijuana. I think if they got an issue or something like that in terms of drugs, they should be allowed to and go into a clinic, rehab. You know, but for marijuana, look, locking up people for that and it costs $169 a day in prison, and you can't get out for $100. And you're in there for a year or two. But we would take the revenues, obviously. We got issue with pension, with fire department, police department, and school teacher. But that ain't the necessarily biggest problem. Biggest problem is this. There's a budget like $10 billion for Chicago. $7 billion is in payroll. Look, if a person make $100,000 a year just using this for Chicago, they end up making $200,000 or $250,000 in overtime. You know, cut out the overtime, get it from $7 billion, get it and check with San Francisco, maybe $3.5 billion. Save that money, put some of those dollars over there to help pay some of that pension, and open back up some of these schools, make smaller schools, since a lot of people left out of Chicago since all these taxes, make smaller schools to the neighborhood.
What about?
So we would use that.
What,
The rest of it is mismanagement. Open up the casino, open up the mag steel, things of that nature. And we pretty much got this budget under control. And don't forget about all the corruption that costing us billions and billions of dollars. It's crazy. It's literally crazy.
Yeah, I want my own hangar at Biggs Field when you reopen it. I want not my own, but I want it just named after me.
You got your names on it
named
already.
after
I like
me.
going
Yeah,
to concerts there,
Dan
though.
Proft
No,
hangar.
that's...
So here's the thing. Going back to what you were saying, not only like, if you make $100,000 when you do the burden salary, it's $150. You throw in overtime, maybe you get to $200. Just the percentage of people in city government that make $100,000 that make substantially more than the median household that's financing them, and that's before you get to the gold-plated guaranteed seven-figure pensions. What about reducing headcount and, frankly, in some cases, reducing salaries, restructuring salaries for those not governed by collective bargaining agreements? Because, as you said, that's where a majority of the money is being spent. So if you want to start really producing balanced budgets, then you're going to have to address that.
Well, we don't have to address it. Look, I'm the only candidate in this race, by the way, who basically uses 99.99% of my own money.
Right.
And I'm spent somewhere like $1.3 million, $1.4 million, $1.5 million, somewhere in there of my own money to make sure that, look, I'm not going to be here bought for major corporations, things of that nature, or I'm not going to accept $1 million, $2 million from the union. I'm not going to do that. I'm running for the citizen of the city of Chicago. But you got to restructure this whole thing. Chicago is a big, big international city. And I am definitely pro-business. Pro-business means jobs and things of that nature. All right? So you got to get a hold of the budget. You cannot have a budget, let's say, a payroll 7% or 75% almost of your whole income. All right? So you have to go back and restructure this thing. You lower the taxes, then you bring international business into here. You bring business in the United States into Chicago. Then you lower taxes, you raise revenue. People don't go to Indiana and buy gas or go to Walmart and buy groceries. We are Chicago. The Indiana, Tennessee, Texas, look, those guys beating us out with jobs and everything. All right? But because our tax is too high, all right? But you got to get a hold of the structure of the whole scenario. And by the way, I would make my administration Republican, Democrat, and any other organization that is out here, the Libertarian, all of us, we will make them part of the administration and bring it together. We all got good ideas, and we can work and put them together and stop looking at labor of a party name or something of that nature there. That's how you have to run it together. And then that way, everybody's inclusion. That whole budget thing gonna wreck us, if we don't get a hold of it. You have to deal with it. And the last on that subject there is that we got to deal with and bring the union and sit down and talk to the union, negotiate stuff the right way, and making sure it's everything's done fairly out here, and sit down and talk and work this thing out. Otherwise, we driving a car and don't have the experience,
Yeah. Well, it sounds good. I mean, getting rid of red light cameras, lowering taxes for businesses, but how are you going to generate revenue then for the city of Chicago? What are your...
Well, they're going to be, well, look, as I said a few minutes ago, the payroll is, $7 billion when a payroll should, and for the city of Chicago, comparable to others in other cities, you're like $3 or $4 billion. You got $2 or $3 billion right there. You got the rest of it in terms of management. You can take the casino, you can take the marijuana, you can take the mag field and rack up another $3 or $4 billion there. You can bid out the process when people come into the city, and instead of the same people getting the bid of the contract with no bid it out and get those costs down. You got crooked politicians, like, okay, you got politicians right now talking about saving the city money and balancing budget, running taxpayer dollar up. You got people like Tony Preckwinkle, Mendoza, that ran for a job and getting paid for it, and now they're running for another job and ain't working on a job they're getting paid for.
I want to switch gears. Police, your position again on the future of Superintendent Eddie Johnson. If you were mayor, would you replace him? And what else would you do to increase the peace on the west and south sides of the city?
Well, I've always said this about, and I don't know Eddie Johnson, a person, nothing like that. I only shook his hand once, and I was at the police funeral back here 2 months ago. One of the two, they got hit by, unfortunately, by the train.
Right.
And I shook his hand the first time I ever shook his hand. I said anybody who's related to communication and taking orders or friends of Mayor Emanuel got to go. They got to go because he's doing what the mayor telling him to do. He's not standing up for the citizen in terms of as related to the mayor situation now. So that would have to take then obviously let it go. I don't think the problem in Chicago is so much as the violence in pretty much in about 8 communities. So those 8 communities don't have jobs, don't have anything in them to survive but the drugs and things of that nature. But what you got to do, you got to take and put the contracts and jobs in those communities, then the crime will go down. But what happened is that what take place is that when you take the resources out of a community and leave nothing in there, then you got issues. So I would take some of that $8.5 billion over here, some of that $2 billion for the the walkway from downtown to China, put $1 billion or $2 billion over there and create the job and put the infrastructure together and create training and good grant so people learn a skill and they can get good jobs. That's where you bring the crime down.
Yeah.
And you save more money because you ain't got to lock up people cost $169 a day, and they in there for a year or 2 or 3 years, and ain't got $100 to get out. That just show you how backward this whole thing is. I've gotten a lot of young men and young ladies out of jail. And I go back to Nate 3 or 4 months, whatever it may be, they back in there. So they said, Doc, give me a job. We won't come in here because drugs doesn't pay. That's how we'll fix this problem.
Let me just take a step back. Perhaps there's a number of people listening that don't exactly know your background. They hear that you, as you just said, you've spent maybe $1.3 to $1.5 million of your own money, and they wonder, well, how has Willie Wilson become so successful? So just in brief, could you give us a little bit of your personal story and how you became so successful in business?
Oh, yeah. Well, I made 20 cents per hour picking cotton and chopping cotton. I ran away from home at 13. I'm from the Jim Crow days. And so we didn't have anything. I had 11 sisters and brother, and I wanted to get them out of there, my mother and father, and we were successful in doing it. I came to Chicago and worked for $2 per hour flipping hamburgers for McDonald's. And Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, I met him, and I asked him for McDonald's. And he said, well, do you have any money? And I said, no, sir, I don't have any money. I said, but I worked 5-10 years for McDonald's, and 5 of those first years, I didn't have a day off to learn the business. And so he said, okay, come with me. And we got started, and we got the first McDonald's. And after that, 2.5 years, I owned 5 McDonald's. And I left there and started my own Omark Medical Supplies with some of the Fortune 500 companies we do business with. And we're like worldwide. We got 5 DCs in the United States, distribution center, a couple of them in China. And we shipped to Australia, Israel, and product disposable gloves and can liners. And we got a company, we work it all our way up from 20 cents per hour coming down south. Today we have a $62 million company, and I'm debt free, no debt.
Wow.
And so we worked hard for it. We came to the era of here again, the Jim Crow days. I learned not to hate a person because of their color. Forget about that mess. Because if you begin to hate because somebody else hates you because of the color, you know better than they are. So my mother said, don't ever hate people, just love them regardless of what you do to them. And so So we learn to do it, but hard work, persistent, and the other thing is I have faith. I'm a Christian. I have faith, and that's hard work. And people may think that might sound odd to them, but faith and hard work will get it. And I look, as when I become mayor of the city of Chicago, by the way, I would put silent prayer back into school.
Oh, really?
Faith and hard work is what gets it. That's what's, CPS could use both of those in much greater supply. He is Willie Wilson. Great story. I love the intersection with the founder, Ray Kroc, and how that launched your business career, in part, at least. Willie Wilson, again, Willie, the website, if people want to learn more about your candidacy and campaign.
Yeah, go to WillieWilsonForMayor.com, WillieWilsonForMayor.com. You can learn a lot from me there, but I will say to the audience that listened to me today on this radio broadcast here is that a lot of people say what they gonna do. I said, look back in my past, what I've already done. That you make the right choice from that. Vote for me, point 22.
All right, Willie Wilson, candidate for mayor on February 26th. WillieWilsonForMayor.com is the website. Willie, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hello, I'm Matthew Hickey from the law office of Matthew J. Hickey. In my 21 years of practice, I've seen a lot, learned a lot, and know who does what best. So, if you have a criminal matter from traffic issues to potential prison time, I'm your guy. If you or a loved one has been hurt, or worse, and you don't want to call a firm whose namesake faces a second federal trial in April, give me a call. My network of attorneys with years of experience and millions recovered will listen, inform, and help you through a difficult time, and are in no way affiliated with any ex-aldermen, soon-to-be federal inmates. You shouldn't have to compromise your principles when you need help. The justice system is designed to intimidate you. I'm here to even that score.
For ethical, informed legal representation, call Matt directly at 312-767-7631. That's 312-767-7631. Or go to his website, MatthewHickeyLaw.com, and send him an email. Remember, the best defense is the best defense attorney.
Have you noticed it? People around you at work or at school are coughing and sneezing, sniffling. And if you want to avoid getting sick this winter, then you know that you need to give your immune system a boost. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy and we're not getting enough fruits and vegetables in our diet, admit it. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. You've heard the testimonials on the air, and I can tell you this. They are 100% real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails. We played the voicemails from real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and, more important, stay healthy. That should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Call and they'll answer any questions that you have and order your bottle of Balance of Nature. Or you can go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first sets of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We are ready for Fear Ready.
I'm former Alderman Bob Fioretti asking for your vote. As Alderman, I work for you, not the insiders. I'll do the same as mayor. If you're tired of the corruption as I am, the violent crime, the insider deals, then you're ready for Fear Ready. I'll fight for what I've always fought for, creating jobs, no property tax increase, term limits, more police officers, and much more. Punch 35 for Bob Fioretti for mayor. Thank you.
We are ready for Fear Ready.
Paid for by friends of Bob Fioretti.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveries is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Steve Moore, chief economist for CNN. Trump's not happy, not thrilled, but should he sign the border security funding deal? And also, should he continue his posture of being disinclined to extend the China trade deadline? That's at 7:37.
And then, well, first let's just head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
7:32. Some areas of blowing and drifting snow are lingering in open areas, causing problems, especially in northwest Indiana and areas south of I-80. ComEd crews are still working to restore power to thousands of Chicago area customers who lost service because of the severe winter ice storm yesterday. The defense attorney for Joaquin El Chapo Guzman says his client was presumed guilty before the trial even started. Guzman was found guilty by a Brooklyn jury yesterday on all 10 counts. His attorneys this morning say they will appeal. President Trump says he's not happy with the congressional compromise, but appears to be accepting it this morning.
Am I happy at first glance? I just got to see it. The answer is no, I'm not. I'm not happy. But am I happy with where we're going? I'm thrilled.
Senator Richard Shelby of Alabama says the bipartisan deal is not perfect.
This is a down payment on where the president wants to go and where we want to go with him. That is to secure the borders.
The deal reportedly offers far less money than the president has demanded for border security. The Treasury Department is reporting this morning the national debt is more than $22 trillion for the first time. In a little more than 2 years since the president took office, the debt has gone up a little more than $2 trillion. Australia's cattle industry this morning may be devastated. Flooding from heavy rains in Queensland state killed nearly 500,000 cattle. That state covers the northwest quarter of Australia. It's gotten almost 3 years' worth of rain in 1 week. Candidate running for First Ward Alderman here in Chicago is apologizing over a controversial photograph. A picture appeared showing Daniel LaSpada wearing a banana costume and posing with friends in monkey masks along with African-American children. LaSpada says there were no ill intentions, but he understands how the photograph could be perceived. A former security guard at Evanston Township High School is accused of sexually assaulting a student in November. Michael Haywood is due in bond court today after turning himself in. Spring training is underway for the Cubs. Pitchers and catchers reporting, including shortstop Addison Russell, who will be able to go through workouts in spite of being suspended until May 3rd for violating MLB's domestic violence policy. Bruins beat the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston. Bulls welcome the Grizzlies tonight to the UC. The News is a service of Peloton, live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Winter or summer, rain or shine, with the Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, listen. Did you hear that? That's the sound of silence, the absent sound of your loved one's laugh, the phone that never rings, the void left because you convinced yourself their addiction was under control. Don't let the shame of addiction prevent you from addressing their disease. USA Addiction knows that the first step is the hardest. That's why they help guide you through the journey to recover with care and compassion. Their nationally certified family recovery coaches lead you every step of the way, from a free initial conversation to planning an intervention to finding the best facility that will save your loved one's life. Go to freeaddictionbook.com and enter your email to their confidential portal. You'll receive their free guide to family addiction and intervention and free consultation. And that's freeaddictionbook.com for a real solution to prevent that heartache. Now is the time to take action. USA Addiction, helping Americans one step at a time.
The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
When it comes to your pain, many of you might be skeptical, like I was, about ordering Relief Factor. Pat Boone again for this wonderful 100% drug-free supplement designed to help your own body lower or eliminate occasional aches and pains due to aging, exercise, everyday living. I'm not skeptical any longer. The 3-week quick start is now discounted to only $19.95. Why don't you let us see if we can get you out of pain too at ReliefFactor.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. The working class is the backbone of our society. Because of sky-high taxes, Chicago working class is being forced to run for the hills for cities that are more open and tax-friendly. The laws should apply to everyone, not just a few. I propose that politicians who pass insane tax laws give up a portion of their own paycheck as a penalty.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 7:38. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On Chicago's southeast side is a fire at 91st and Exchange. Delays on the inbound Eden starting at 2. It's 30 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, out on 22. Kennedy, 55 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 40 from Montrose, 28 in the Express. The Eisenhower's an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. 45 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, 56 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Delays start at 126, though. Ryan, 50 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, siding to the merge, Bishop 432. Northbound Tri-State Jam, Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. So the Reagan Tollway, it's heavy Farnsworth to Yackley. Northbound Veterans Memorial, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, and the Army Trail Toll to 290. It's traffic. I'm Chip Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, partly sunny and breezy today, high 28. 13 and mostly sunny skies at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and she's only been in Congress a short time, but she's already compiled a number of greatest hits. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez I'm talking about. She's so important her idea is so big, so profound, AOC's G&D is going to get an up or down in the Senate, thanks to Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell's all over this, folks.
We'll give everybody an opportunity to go on record and see how they feel about the Green New Deal.
Love it. I think that's very generous of Mitch McConnell to do so.
Who wants to get rid of the American Airlines, United Airlines, all the airlines? We're going to take a choo-choo train, Dan.
Pay you if you're unable or unwilling to work. Free college, free house, government job. It's all good. Ocasio-Cortez, just a couple of the instant classics from Ocasio-Cortez of the recent past, just to give you a sense of the size of the intellect we're dealing with here.
I think the first thing that we need to do is kind of break the mistaken idea that taxes pay for 100% of government expenditure. It's just not how government expenditure works. We can recoup costs, but oftentimes you look at, for example, the GOP tax cut, which I think was an irresponsible use of government expenditure, but government projects are often financed by a combination of taxes, deficit spending, and other kinds of investments, bonds and so on.
Well, I get that, but deficit spending is borrowing money that has to be paid back eventually through taxes.
Yeah, and I think...
Boy, so robust is her understanding of economics that she had to be corrected by an NPR reporter. Just a couple, a little bit more of a taste. You want the flavor?
I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
See, she's morally right, so she doesn't have to be economically sound in her thinking. She's morally correct, so she doesn't need to be precisely factual in what she says. And that turns out to work out super well for her.
But do you think it is moral for individuals to, for instance, do we live in a moral world that allows for billionaires? Is that a moral outcome in and of itself?
No, see? She's morally correct, so she doesn't have to be technically accurate or factual in her explanations. I just wanted you to get a real feel, some layering to Ocasio-Cortez and her many pronouncements over the last several months since she is the intellectual leader of the Democrat Socialist Party. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, chief economist for CNN. Steve, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Good morning. And by the way, this is, just so you know, this is the whole millennial generation. I mean, this isn't just AOC. This is what the kids have been learning in school for 40 years, and we're paying a high price for it. I mean, AOC is just regurgitating what her professors at Boston University and her high school economics teachers have told her. And this is what we get for letting the left run the government schools for the last 50 years, this kind of economic gibberish. By the way, I loved one of her comments the other day. She was asked how she was going to pay for this, $10 trillion, quote, transformation of the American economy. She said, the government is going to pay for it. And then she said, and if we still need more money, they'll just raise taxes.
Right, yeah. Right. We're going to first use
good. Those are two good solutions.
First, we're going to use the government's money, and then if we need more, we're going to use other people's money. No, I mean this. Look,
exactly.
Steve.
By the way, where does she think the government's money
of
comes
course,
from?
But Steve, she's morally right. And look, as Cory Booker said, did we ask about how much it was going to cost to put a man on the moon? Did we ask how much it was going to cost to defeat the Nazis? This is a moment in time to gather humanity together and volunteer for subjugation.
Well, I think that's right. And by the way, the left has always made the case that, this was going to be, we were going to have this green energy revolution, and then it was going to be good for us. It was going to be good for the economy. Now they're, realizing, wait a minute, this is going to cost a whole hell of a lot of money. And incidentally, this is good for the American people. I mean, I think it's very educational for Americans to see how crazy, these people are. I mean, the left is nuts. I mean, the ideas in the Green New Deal. I mean, everybody knows how crazy these are, 70% tax rates, and then we're going to do, no plane travel. And by the way, I don't know, Dan or Amy, if you drove to work today, but, if it wasn't considered an essential trip, you won't be able to do that anymore. You'll have to, jump on a bus or a train. These kinds of things. I mean, we're going to get rid of health insurance, by the way, and everybody's going to be covered by Medicare, whether you like it or not. And what was most surprising to me about this whole thing, though, look, AOC, how old is she, 29?
Yeah.
29 years old. She doesn't know anything, right? I mean, I like her spunk and stuff, but she's not a very knowledgeable person. But what about all these Democratic presidential candidates who are standing right behind her in solidarity?
Absolutely.
Well, I know. That's why. What do you think of Mitch McConnell taking it to the Senate floor to see where people stand?
Finally, Mitch McConnell showing a little bit of backbone. I love it. Yeah, I want to see if a single. By the way, my prediction is that vote. First of all, I think a lot of the Democrats are going to be afraid to show up. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them don't show up for that vote. But I don't think it's going to get a single vote. Except, Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie Sanders probably would vote for it. But
Murky,
he's a
co-sponsor.
Do you think Dick Durbin's going to vote for that? Or who's your other senator?
Tammy Duckworth. Ed Murky's a co-sponsor.
Yeah, well, she might vote for it, right?
Well, Murky from Massachusetts co-sponsor. He's going to vote for it. I mean, he's not going to vote for the resolution he sponsored.
There's a crazy guy from Rhode Island, White House.
Sheldon Whitehouse. Sure, there's lots of crazy
He's kind
people.
of a crazy. But,
yeah.
Look, I was just in Ohio last week. Ohio's economy is absolutely booming right now. And the major reason that it's booming is because of the shale oil and gas revolution. They're right there in the Marcellus Shale. We're producing more natural gas in Ohio than any place in the world. She wants to shut that all down. She wants to shut down natural gas production, and natural gas is actually reducing greenhouse gases. These people are so stupid. They also, originally, remember, they said they wanted to get rid of all nuclear power. Right. If you want to solve the greenhouse gas problem, you want to use more nuclear power, not less. There's no greenhouse gases from nuclear power.
Right. I remember a time when the Sierra Club was considered left. Now the Sierra Club, which concedes the need for nuclear power, now they're out of step with where the Democrat Socialist Party too. The Sierra Club can't get left enough.
Well, I mean, look, I love the example of what happened in Chicago. I see what's your temperature there today, about 15 degrees or something. But, when it was 30 below, there was a story in Bloomberg. You guys live there, so you can tell me if this was true, that the solar panels and the windmills didn't work. So they had to go to old-fashioned coal to keep people from, freezing to death, literally freezing to death in those cold days. Because guess what? When you most need energy, wind and solar power are least effective and least available. So, you'd literally have a lot of people die. I mean, energy is the master resource, right? Everything that we have derives from cheap and reliable energy, and they're going right at the heart of our economy with these. Let me put it very simply. Does anybody in their right mind really believe that in our $20 trillion industrial economy, we're going to provide enough electric power and enough transportation fuel from batteries to power a $20 trillion economy? I mean, it's utter nonsense.
Going to another aspect of the heart of our economy, trade, and word out this morning that Trump is not inclined to extend the trade deadline he's imposed on China, lest more tariffs are triggered. Where do you think that stands? How does that play out?
So that means they've got what? I think it's March 1st, right, is the deadline. Yeah. So that means they've got just less than 3 weeks to come up with some kind of deal. I think Trump is playing a little bit of games, brinksmanship here. But he is not bluffing that if China doesn't come forward with some kind of a deal that makes some concessions, and as you guys know, because we've argued about this on this show, I'm in favor of what Trump is doing with China. I think China is a really bad actor, and I think they need to be brought to heel. But if they don't make some kind of concessions here in terms of stopping the stealing of our intellectual property and reducing their barriers to Americans selling goods and services over there, I think Trump will go forward with that 25% tariff. It will hurt the U.S. economy. It will destroy the Chinese economy. So I hope level heads prevail here. But you're dealing with the Beijing government. These guys are communists. Who knows what they're going to do?
All right. He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, CNN chief economist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Have a great week. No more driving.
Right. We'll see you next week. And you join us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had seen my kidney doctor because I only have one kidney that works. and the other one doesn't work at all. And I was pretty close to going on dialysis if it didn't improve. This last visit to my kidney doctor, my kidney it's operating at 21% now. So that's the highest that it's been in the last 8 years. This is really working well for me, and I am so grateful that I found you guys.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Don't wait any longer. If you've considered buying a MyPillow, now's the time to pull the trigger because the MyPillow 4-pack is back. That's 2 premium MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, plus free shipping, all for the price of 1 premium MyPillow. They're amazing pillows, so don't wait. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. I love it that they're washable and dryable and have a money-back offer. And you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper. Your mattress will feel brand new and improved for a lot less, folks, than buying a new mattress. Those things can be expensive. Or the great pet beds that my dog Bunky absolutely loves. Just use the promo code Amy for the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on mattress toppers, pet beds, sheets. Those cotton sheets are heavenly. Visit MyPillow.com, Amy in that promo code, or call 800-489-0201.
Let's face it, everyone loves to shop. From my experience of meeting a famous politician in the Hermes store in Paris,
to my unforgettable experience test driving my first 600 horsepower car, in which I said, I'll take it before it even hit 60 miles an hour.
we're pretty sure everyone has at least one unforgettable shopping experience. Hello, we are Carrie and
Ken,
founders of Income Store. Have you ever considered shopping for your next income? And we don't mean your next job. Did you know that you can walk into Income Store's website through a door on the left or a door on the right?
if you're just starting out or you simply have more time than money, you're going to enter our website on the left. If you've got more money than time, then definitely the right door is for you.
If you're looking to increase revenue in your home or business and would like to create a brand new, greatest shopping memory, all you have to do is change where you shop. Check out one of the two doors at incomestore.com.
That's incomestore.com.
Have you ever seen what really goes on in your caterer's or favorite restaurant's kitchen? What does the kitchen look like? How big is the operation? And maybe most importantly, who's cooking my meal? When you cater with Tasty Catering, you get more than quality food and event planning. You get an invitation to see what goes on throughout our entire building, including our kitchen. We call it our open kitchen door policy. Come see for yourself why we are so proud of what we do and gain the peace of mind that comes with knowing the who's, the what's, the where's, and the how's of the way we prepare your food. Visit tastycatering.com for more information or contact a Tasty Catering sales representative and set up a time to come meet with us at our home. You can't put a price on peace of mind, but if you had to, all it takes is one visit. Call 847-593-2000, 847-593-2000, or start your visit through our open doors at tastycatering.com.
Believe it or not, spring is just around the corner, so now's the time to get those home projects done so you can spend spring and summer being with your loved ones. Home Advisor makes it so easy to find the right pros for any project. Whether it's a small project like fixing a leaky faucet or a big project like remodeling the whole kitchen, just go to homeadvisor.com. Tell them about your project. In just a few seconds, you'll be matched with the best pros in the area for the exact job. You can read verified customer reviews, compare prices, check availability, even book appointments online. And with their project cost guide, you can check what others paid for similar jobs in your area. No matter what home project you've been thinking about, painting, getting your gutters cleaned, even a real big job like a new roof, Home Advisor makes it easy to find and hire the very best pros in your area. Find a great pro now before the busy season hits. Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started. You're going to love Home Advisor being in your corner. Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free Home Advisor app and get started.
Another year and you still haven't done anything about your company's network and computer system. Will your employees struggle to get by on a dated system with no IT personnel to fix it quickly? Or maybe you're thinking everything's running perfectly and it'll be fine. Until it isn't. Whether you've experienced technical trouble or not, when you do, it costs your company money. And it doesn't have to. Don't wait for a crisis. Make 2019 the year you're prepared for anything technology throws at you with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT helps set you up for success and gets in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. They specialize in the preventative steps to keep you going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know exactly where you stand in the ever-evolving technology world. A second opinion never hurts. And for a limited time, get free lunch for the decision makers of your company, courtesy of Turnkey.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Hello, I'm Matthew Hickey from the law office of Matthew J. Hickey. In my 21 years of practice, I've seen a lot, learned a lot, and know who does what best. So, if you have a criminal matter from traffic issues to potential prison time, I'm your guy. If you or a loved one has been hurt, or worse, and you don't want to call a firm whose namesake faces a second federal trial in April, give me a call. My network of attorneys with years of experience and millions recovered will listen, inform, and help you through a difficult time, and are in no way affiliated with any ex-aldermen, soon-to-be federal inmates. You shouldn't have to compromise your principles when you need help. The justice system is designed to intimidate you. I'm here to even that score.
For ethical, informed legal representation, call Matt directly at 312-767-7631. That's 312-767-7631. Or go to his website, MatthewHickeyLaw.com, and send him an email. Remember, the best defense is the best defense attorney.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Amy, I understand that Proco Gropo Joe Moreno, part-time extortionist and police impersonator, is driving his opponent bananas.
Oh, hey, I see what you did there. Well, yeah, his opponent, who we've tried many times to get on this show, Daniel Espada, is in a little bit of hot water because there is a Facebook picture that he posted from his bachelor party in 2013 when he was a young 29 years old, and he's wearing a banana suit. And
of course,
the other guys in the group thought it would be cool to put on monkey masks, and then he, as the banana, chased the monkeys, or the monkeys were chasing the banana through Millennium Park.
Isn't that a Limp Bizkit video?
I mean, it's just bad, but it surfaced Tuesday, and then the problem is then when they were done chasing each other, you know, getting all silly there in Millennium Park, they decided to snap a photo with 4 African-American kids with the monkey faces people behind them and the banana. So a lot of people saying this is racist. He released a statement saying the photo
that I am announcing my candidacy for governor of Virginia.
The photo was taken during, quote, a goofy kind of fun activity. That was part of his bachelor party. He said he's not a racist, but if elected alderman, he'll use his office to break down racial inequities in our Warden City.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The problem is not the banana suit and the monkey masks. The problem is that the entire group is a bunch of dorks. That's what they did for a bachelor party.
I know.
I mean,
that was their pregame, and then I think they went to a bar.
Come on. It's not. I'm sure it was intended to be racist. I'm sure they were looking for 4 black kids to take a picture with. So this thing surfaces.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just it's fun to have fun at his expense because he's a dork and a mope and probably one of the few people that can actually lose a race to Proco Gropo Joe Moreno, who should be arrested.
Right.
But
I was wondering,
yeah,
I was always wondering what the real reason was. Why isn't he coming on? So you should capitalize on this. You should, your opponent might be getting arrested soon.
Maybe
and he didn't want to come on the show, and I think it's because of this. But whatever.
Or maybe it's maybe it's because he is put up by Proco Joe. He's a fake candidate.
That's another possibility too. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to Pastor Cesar LaFleur, representative of Aid for Women. They are taking the fight to Planned Parenthood in Illinois. That's
and later,
at 8:08.
Yeah, what would you do for your boss? Time right now, though, is 8 o'clock, and it is time for Fox News.
We're still waiting for the deal in writing.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Democrats were trying to add things to this deal last night, and nobody's seen the text. Not even the conferees have seen it.
Republican Congressman Mark Meadows does not like this bipartisan border security compromise, but understands President Trump might sign it to avoid another government shutdown. It only gives the president a quarter of the wall funding he wants.
You can rest assured the president promised he was going to build the wall, and he's going to deliver.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the president's waiting for all the details and weighing other options, including finding more funding elsewhere to build more wall. But Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says,
as for moving around the money, he needs congressional permission to do it.
Now, the president was up before dawn, tweeting about what he's often called the witch hunt. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The president tweeting a conclusion made by Richard Burr, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. There is no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Meanwhile, the House Judiciary Committee chairman Jerry Nadler has hired 2 legal consultants who've advocated for the impeachment or possible indictment of President Trump for obstructing justice. The 2 lawyers will review special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation as well as assist in oversight matters under the committee's jurisdiction. Dave?
John, New York City police are mourning a detective's death. The sergeant was also wounded.
2 911 calls came in reporting an armed robbery at the T-Mobile store here in Richmond Hill, Queens. Detective Brian Simonson and Sergeant Matthew Gorman responded to the call along with fellow patrol officers from the 102 precinct. Now, when they went into the store, they immediately saw the man fitting the description and pointing what appeared to be a handgun at them. We now know it was a fake.
Kayla Mamalek with Fox 5 TV says the officers were hit by friendly fire as police shot and wounded the suspect. In San Diego, someone walked into a restaurant last night, started shooting, firing at least 19 shots, but no one was injured. This is Fox News.
Blue skies, sunshine, but only 11 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Here are the stories we're following on WIND Chicago. Still some homes without power in the Chicago area. ComEd tells us they're working to restore service to under 7,000 customers. A suburban man is charged with involuntary manslaughter after his wife died in a hot tub over the weekend. Eric Huska appeared in court yesterday after Laura Huska was found unresponsive Saturday night in the couple's backyard hot tub in Wheeling. 2 top lieutenants to El Chapo are still waiting their fates in Chicago court cases after the Mexican drug kingpin was convicted yesterday by a Brooklyn jury on drug conspiracy and money laundering charges. Sinaloa cartel Lieutenant Vicente Zambada was among the defendants in the massive indictment. He is set to be sentenced in April. Jesus Leon is awaiting trial in Chicago on the same case as Zambada. A man is in custody after a bomb squad was called out to the Hollywood casino in Aurora. Police say the suspect entered the casino yesterday and began making statements to an employee that were believed to be threatening. The worker alerted security, who called 911. Bruins over the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston, snapping a 7-game win streak. White Sox pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training today. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, hotel company Hilton Worldwide is reporting an upbeat holiday quarter, and it's predicting this will be a good year. Hilton opened 142 new hotels recently. French carmaker Renault is scrapping former executive Carlos Ghosn's $34 million pay and severance package. Sources tell Reuters the decision to reject the payout comes from a Renault committee. The Renault board must approve the decision, but it's likely to do so. Cohen is awaiting trial in Japan on charges of financial misconduct at Nissan. He says he's innocent. Shareholders are suing former CBS CEO Les Moonves and other executives, alleging insider trading. A pension fund says the executives sold stock before sexual harassment allegations against Moonves became public. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's 8:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I believe that your company has the answer because I've been through cancer treatment and knowing what it does to the body, and oh my, if that's all that medical science has to offer, there must be a better way, and I think the better way is knowing what to eat and getting it. I do notice that I have less inflammation. I feel like when I'm taking Balance of Nature, I'm getting fruits and vegetables more than what I would ordinarily get. I like when I open up the bottles, you can really smell the fruits and vegetables. I mean, I know I'm getting fruits and vegetables.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from a VA client.
I do have a very close personal friend. Him and his wife were both Army. They did a couple tours. They were denied their VA loan at the 11th hour. They got the carpet pulled from underneath them. So, you hear horror stories like that. With you guys going through the VA process, you guys really did most of the legwork. I mean, just a matter of getting my paperwork in order and making sure you guys had the right documents so that you could push it through, make it happen, and get us the keys to our new home.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time. So you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Attention everyone, I have a President's Day pro tip. You need to go to Dell.com/business deals right now because Dell's President's Day sale is live as we speak. And it's monumental. Get deals on Dell business computers with 8th Gen Intel Core processors and business tech, plus doorbusters up to 45% off. Call 877-BUY-DELL now to talk to Dell's small business technology advisors and get personalized help finding the best tech at President's Day prices. Free shipping included. Again, call 877-BUY-DELL.
It's 8:07. Let's check the roads now in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Telemonte.
Travel is slow and snowy on I-65. Southbound it's jammed at 231 past State Road 2. Or wreck has 2 right lanes blocked. Northbound speeds are reduced State Road 2 up to 8094. Edens runs 30 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 33. The Kennedy 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown 40 from Montrose, 28 to the Express, outbound 45 to the airport. Eisenhower an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 55 to 390. Stevenson 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41. Orion 50 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy, Southwest Highway to 31st and from Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
It'll be breezy today, partly sunny with a high 28, partly cloudy tonight, low 22, but temperatures rise into the 30s. Clouds of milder, shower tomorrow, high 43. Cloudy and cold Friday, high 23. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
11 at O'Hare, 13 along the lakefront. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And as we await to see what I reported Monday.
Yeah, you had this scoop.
Turned into legislative form in Illinois because Governor Spalding here wants to compete with Governors Northam and Cuomo for the most pro-infanticide governor in America. The understanding is legislation will be coming that would repeal parental notification for minors. And by the way, there's a judicial bypass in that parental notification stricture at present. So just in terms of what if you have bad parents, you can go to a judge. Repeal the late-term abortion ban, partial birth abortion ban. Allow for non-doctors to perform abortions. And also provide more forced funding through insurance company mandates for coverage. So we'll see. Here's what we don't have to see. We know Governor Rauner's abortions. Governor Rauner funded abortions. 1,561 public-funded abortions for the first 6 months of 2018 after he signed House Bill 40. Public funding of abortion on demand all 9 months. 1,561 first 6 months of 2018. What was it the first 6 months of 2017 before that legislation was signed in terms of public policy impacting people's lives or their lack of having one? 85. 1,561 versus 85. That's the difference that legislation made, and that's just in the first 6 months of year one. Big difference. Youngest person to get an abortion? 12.
Ooh.
Yeah. Welcome to the gruesome reality on the ground. And this is why we talked to Abby Johnson yesterday in her new movie coming out about her autobiography, Unplanned, at the end of March. Planned Parenthood clinic director to pro-life advocate. Here's another example of that. Dr. Anthony Levatino, who's an OBGYN and former abortionist. He sat down for an interview with Live Action's Lila Rose, pro-life organization. He talked about and addressed the arguments being made by the pro-infanticide left, by the Northams and the Cuomos and the Pritzkers and the Democrat ghouls in this state. You will hear these arguments. High-risk pregnancies, protecting women's health, protecting women's life. That's why you need to open up and legalize late-term abortions, right?
We hear all the time how abortion, including especially late-term abortion, is necessary to save women's lives. Nothing could be further from the truth. I spent 9 years working at a tertiary medical center. I mean, there are only certain hospitals in the country that are designated to take care of the really, really high-risk pregnancies. You don't want to duplicate the effort. It's expensive. So these hospitals get referrals from the surrounding area. And Albany Medical Center in Albany, New York, where I worked, was one of them. I was faculty at the hospital for 9 years. And I saw hundreds of cases of really severe pregnancy complications, cancers, heart disease, intractable diabetes out of control, toxemia of pregnancy out of control. And I saved, in those 9 years, I saved hundreds of women from life-threatening pregnancies. And I did that by delivering them, by ending their pregnancy by delivery, either induction of labor or cesarean section.
Delivering the baby.
Delivering the baby. And I always tell people, in all of those years, the number of babies that I was obligated to deliberately kill in the process was zero. None.
He goes on to explain what actually happens when a woman's life is in jeopardy late in her term.
The key point about late-term abortion that so many people miss is that it takes days to prepare the cervix. This is not a natural situation by any stretch. If you're going to dilate a cervix sufficiently, that starts off essentially as a pinpoint, large enough to dismember or tear apart a baby this big, that cervix has to be dilated, and that can take anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. And especially when you're talking about later term pregnancies. Most life-threatening situations, the vast, vast majority of life-threatening situations in pregnancy are not going to arise until 24, 25, 26 weeks of pregnancy and higher. And when you're talking about that, you're talking about abortion procedures that take 2 and 3 days to prepare the cervix. And I'll give you a classic example. This is a real case. A lady came to the hospital at 27 weeks of pregnancy with severe toxemia. Her blood pressure, a normal blood pressure is about 120 over 80. Her blood pressure was 220 over 160. Okay, this lady would literally be minutes or hours away from a stroke. What do you do in a situation like that? We stabilized her, brought her back, did a cesarean section, had her delivered within an hour of arriving at the hospital. She and her baby did just fine.
Amazing.
Now, let's say we wanted to use abortion to save her life, okay? If with that kind of blood pressure and that kind of problem, if we waited 2 to 3 days to get her cervix prepared, she would never make it. She would have been dead. And that's a perfect example. You never need late-term abortion to save a woman's life. If necessary, you accomplish the delivery. Now, did every one of those children make it because they were preterm? No. But they all had a chance, and most of them did make it.
The party of science, the left, the pro-infanticide left. There's the reality on the ground. The other reality on the ground in Illinois is that the pro-life side is not giving up because of what Ronner and Surrender Republicans have done, because of the political landscape dominated by pro-infanticide Democrats. Aid for Women, which is a Catholic life-affirming pregnancy center to which I'm affiliated on the advisory board, is opening up crisis pregnancy centers to serve women and children in the metro area, just as the political class's support for HB 40 that Ronner signed has allowed Planned Parenthood to open up new clinics, new abortion mills in Illinois, even as they're closing them in many parts of the rest of the country. And for more on the work of Aid for Women, what's happening locally, we're pleased to be joined by Pastor Caesar LaFleur, who is also the founder of the Southland Coalition for Life. Caesar, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning.
Morning. And so against this very difficult landscape and what additional difficulties could be in the offing, tell us what Aid for Women is doing and how people can to intercede with Aid for Women in advance of life in Chicago Metro.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Unfortunately, Illinois is surging ahead in this race to the bottom when it comes down to our total disrespect for the sanctity of this human life. And as you mentioned, as other states, we're seeing a reduction in abortion providers. Illinois, because of the political climate here, because of our liberal policies and a governor that failed us by signing legislation that makes abortion more accessible. Organizations like Planned Parenthood have targeted Illinois, as they did when they opened up the center in Flossmoor, Illinois, under the cover of darkness almost. And they have plans for opening up 4 more of the centers, we understand, in Illinois, because Illinois now has become a state that's becoming an oasis, if you will, in the Midwest for abortion. And so we didn't want to just sit by and just go along with that. We just wanted to respond to this darkness by opening up a light in our area in Flossmoor. When we found out about Planned Parenthood, when they opened up on Martin Luther King Day in Flossmoor, a group of us got together and we prayed and we decided that we wanted to have a response. And so we formulated the Southland Coalition for Life. And we came together, Dan, for these purposes, to provide resources that would support, love, and empower women to make life-affirming decisions, to not just go along with the prevailing opinion about life is not sacred, but to give them opportunities to be supported so that they can make a decision for life. And that's why we are working with Aid for Women to open up the Flossmoor Women's Pregnancy Aid Center. And people can find out more how to support us because we really need your support. God did something miraculous by, in a very short period of time, He made the resources available to us through very loving and caring people to open up our center, which is opening up this month. But we are looking for sustainability. We want to be there for the long haul so that these women can have access to this vitally needed support in that area. So we're encouraging your listeners to go to helpaidforwomen.org, helpaidforwomen.org, so they can find out how to support this ongoing work. Our Pregnancy Help Center is going to be right in the area where the Planned Parenthood is because we want to be present with light where darkness is. And we understand that the darkness cannot overcome light. We also wanted to provide educational opportunities for the people in our community so that they can be informed about things about abortion that they might not know. For instance, abortion's disproportionate effect on African Americans. African Americans, women only represent 6% of the population, but have almost 30 to 40% of the abortions, and that's on purpose because Planned Parenthood and organizations like that place their centers deliberately in black and brown areas.
And
so
Caesar, not to interrupt, but that's
Yes,
what they did, and that's what they did by citing that facility in Flossmoor, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's very strategic, and they knew the areas they would be drawing from, not only in Illinois, but also in Indiana. And they do that as a matter of strategy. Roseland, Inglewood, and other places where minority groups are. We did some studies years ago that said almost 80% of their facilities are within walking distance of black communities. And so this is what they did consistent with that in Flossmoor. So we wanted to educate the public about that. And also we wanted to build a network of prayer intercessors to be able to pray for a spiritual awakening in our nation that would turn our hearts back to the sanctity of life. And so the Southland Coalition is a grassroots organization, a very diverse organization, blacks, whites, browns, and other people that were concerned about life. And we came together, and in a very short period of time, God has allowed us to be able to be at this point where we're about to open up our own Women's Pregnancy Aid Center.
Now, Pastor, I know your mission is to empower women to choose life. How do you find or go about reaching out to the women who are pregnant?
Well, in several ways. First of all, the Internet is going to be a great help to us in that because women are looking for answers. They're looking for solutions. So we do want to be very prominent, very present on the Internet and promoting it, but also through other vehicles, like talking on your radio program this morning. Women need to know that there are other options. And so we're going to use all of the resources available to us through the media and through our emails and Internet, any way that we can get the word out. Billboards, word of mouth. We want women to know that there are different options.
And it's interesting, too, just noting that you're opening, Aid for Women is opening this pregnancy center in Flossmoor because, as I understand it, the money was raised locally. And so there was enough money raised locally. I mean, Flossmoor used to be a wealthy community. Some people might remember it as such. But now it's decidedly a middle-income community, and some places at best. And so to have money raised sufficient to open up this pregnancy center locally has to be a point of encouragement.
Absolutely, it is. You know, there were so many people, individual donors, and other groups that showed up and they gave, and it's almost miraculous that we're able to open up this short of time. But once again, our concern is sustainability because we want to be there for the long term, which is why we are highly encouraging people to support us in those two ways: to pray for us, and then definitely go to helpaidforwomen.org and become a regular supporter because this is what it's going to take. It's going to take people with a heart to be not only involved and active, but to support the work that needs to go forward. We know that we can't compete with the government, and we know how Planned Parenthood and others, how they're funded, but we need people to rise up at this opportunity and support us in this effort.
And just talk a little bit about the work that you've done. I mean, you've been involved in the cause of life for a long time. For those of you who don't know, for those that are listening to us who don't know Pastor LaFleur, in the black community specifically, but in Chicagoland generally. Just talk about where you think this is, this issue and the fight for preserving the dignity of human life from conception to natural death.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan, for this opportunity. I tell people all the time, I didn't choose to be active in the abortion issue. God used this issue to choose me. And once he awakened my heart about it, I really became alarmed when I found out the truth about what was happening, and especially when I found out what was happening in the black community. So I was working with a pastor, Hiram Crawford Sr., who I'm sure you know, who was a pioneer in the black community, in trying to awaken the black community about what was targeted towards us. I became involved with the African American Family Association, and not long after that, I discovered the Life Education and Resource Network, which is a national organization of black pro-life, pro-family workers. And so I have been working to try to educate, to mobilize the black church to rise up against this issue of abortion, because I'm trying to show them that this is a spiritual issue, and it's something that the black church is really going to have to awaken to, because black people are the target of abortion, and I believe that the black church can be the answer to it. Because I've often said that if the black church would awaken and rise up and lift up our voice against abortion, then I think this nation would pay attention, just as Martin Luther King did during the civil rights movement. I believe that this is our opportunity now to do that, and I think it's necessary. So that's where I have been focusing my energies for the last several years, is trying to reach the Black community and especially the Black church, to inform them and to inspire them to take a different position, because we know just because abortion is justified in the eyes of the law does not mean that it's justified in the eyes of God. And it is wicked and it is evil. It is the evil of our day, just as slavery was an evil in our past. And this is our critical moment. And that's why I'm so excited about what God is doing through people of faith, even through the Southland Coalition for Life, to inspire us to not just sit back and curse the darkness, but to, through him, turn on the light. And that's what centers like the Aid for Women Center in Flossmoor is going to be. It's going to be a light in the midst of darkness. And that's where my energies go.
We don't get courage from the political class, either party in this state, but we do have people like Pastor Cesar LaFleur who are courageous day in and day out in advance of issues of concern and dignity like the life issue, and we should be thankful for it. Helpaidforwomen.org, helpaidforwomen.org if you want to support the cause, or even specifically their new pregnancy care center in Flossmoor that Pastor LaFleur is talking about. Pastor LaFleur, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dan, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I want to keep my heart healthy, so I get my cholesterol checked regularly. And when my doctor told me my cholesterol was borderline, I found garlic. According to my pharmacist, there's an ingredient in garlic that helps maintain healthy cholesterol. And one garlic tablet is equal to a whole clove of garlic, except it's odor-free. Yep, I'm doing what I can for my cholesterol, and I'm doing it with garlic.
Garlic, cholesterol's natural enemy. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
All right. Who wants to be healthy? Raise your hand. I do. And during the winter months, it can be hard because people around you are sniffling. Dan, sneezing. Mike, coughing. Justin. And if you want to avoid getting sick, then you know what you need to do to give your immune system a boost. A great way to do it is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy. A lot of us go through that drive-through, and that means we're not getting enough fruits and veggies in our diet. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. You've heard the testimonials on this air, and I can tell you they're 100% real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He and his wife showed me the emails. We played some voicemails of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. That should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago. Or call 800-246-8751. 800-246-8751. Balance of Nature. And you'll get 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature with that promo code Chicago.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America now to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Call 800-375-8900. 800-375-8900. That's 800-375-8900.
Here's another Turnkey IT happy client.
Hi, this is Joe from Packaging Personified. We're a manufacturer of flexible packaging located in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and also just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Packaging Personified manufactures flexible packaging for the food industry and multiple other industries. We happen to be a 24-hour operation running 7 days a week, so we rely on our IT to be 100% solid. We were having a challenging time trying to get our infrastructure to be reliable. This is a problem we've had for some time, and we had gone to other providers and did not have the success we were hoping for. And that's when we found Turnkey IT. We're still in the process of expanding our network to support additional changes that we're making as we grow the business. And with Turnkey IT on our side, we can focus on our business, which is making packaging.
Your business can have great success too, with a full-time IT staff starting at $7.95 a month. From Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
This will be fun. These two guys were persecuted professionally for living their faith. The Benham brothers, David and Jason, they've memorialized that in a new book, and we're going to discuss it with them at 8:38.
And now, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine right now, but snow and blowing snow caused some major problems throughout the morning, especially as you move south on 65 in northwest Indiana, south of Maryville, and on 55 and 57 as well, and to the northwest on I-90 and west on I-88 this morning. ComEd crews say they're working to restore power to thousands of Chicago area customers who lost service because of the severe winter weather yesterday. A few thousand remain in the dark right now, mostly west of Oswego and up to the northwest through DeKalb. President Trump says he's not happy with the congressional compromise, but he seems to be accepting of it this morning.
It's all going to happen where we're going to build a beautiful, big, strong wall that's not going to let criminals and traffickers and drug dealers and drugs into our country.
1/4 of the federal government runs out of money again at the end of the week unless the president signs off on the House-Senate Conference Committee agreement. The woman who first came forward with sexual assault allegations against Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax is speaking out publicly. Dr. Vanessa Tyson spoke at a Me Too movement event at Stanford University.
Because every woman matters. Every survivor matters, regardless of their background, regardless of where they come from.
Tyson talked about the connections between sexual violence and persistent inequality. A northbound Lakeshore Drive bridge in Chicago back open one day after being shut down because of cracked steel beams.
We have full confidence that the shoring we have in place now is making this a safe and fully functional roadway.
CDOT's Rebecca Scheinfeld. A suburban man is charged with involuntary manslaughter after his wife died over the weekend in a hot tub. Eric Huska appeared in court yesterday after Laura Huska was found unresponsive Saturday night in the couple's backyard hot tub in Wheeling. Now, security camera footage shows the husband first seen trying to help his wife get out before closing the lid on top of her and walking into the house and returning 90 minutes later. Chicago sports, Bruins over the Blackhawks 6-3 in Boston. Hawks stay 4 points behind the Wild for a wild card spot in the West. The Wild loss, and the loss snaps a 7 straight games in the win column for the Blackhawks. Bulls and Grizzlies tonight at the UC, and Southsiders are celebrating. Pitchers and catchers are reporting for the Sox. The news, a service of Russell Stover. Russell Stover is here to remind you that Valentine's Day is getting close, really close. It's time to pick up the Russell Stover heart-shaped box full of chocolates. Don't forget, go now, Russell Stover. Make happy. 8:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees the left ruining this country.
What is this now from Kamala Harris? Racism is real in America. Whoa. If you think America's saturated with sexism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and transphobia, and racism, how can you not be angry? God, are they frauds? They're ruining my country. Do you understand? The greatest experiment in human history is being ruined by these people.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Chicago is a big city, 234 square miles. We have 50 aldermen to watch over our neighborhoods, but only one police superintendent. As mayor, I will add 3 more superintendents and form separate districts for them to be responsible for and bringing top management to the police force closer to our citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Ament, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Ament and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Ament needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
8:36. Check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Palatine Road is closed west of 53 between Rollwing and Winston due to a vehicle fire. There are delays on 53 southbound Rand to Kirchhoff, northbound the Adams Tollway to Kirchhoff. North on Veterans Memorial, it's jammed I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail toll to 290. It's heavy on the eastbound Adams Tollway, 25 to Roselle and Elmhurst to the Tri-State. The Reagan Tollway from Randall to 355. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, quicker in the Express. Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to the Drive. The Ryan is 46 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to Burge. Mission 432. It's traffic. I'm Chip Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny and breezy, high 28. Partly cloudy, temperatures on the rise overnight, low 24. And a milder day ahead tomorrow with rain showers and a high of 44. Currently, 11 and sunshine. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
By the way, nice use of the word ancillary.
Oh, can we put that on a magnet? Words with Amy?
On AM 560.
Your magnet will be Word with Amy.
The Answer.
So mean. If you want Words with Proft, if you want to play along at home, go to 560theanswer.com/words with Proft.
And,
we're going to get my magnet, a word with Amy.
Sure, it's a complimentary magnet. It's like a sidecar magnet. A word with Amy. All right, we're going to have some words with the Benham brothers. You remember them. Not that they've gone anywhere, but they had this really popular show on HGTV, Flip It Forward. Right? They helped one of those home shows where they're helping people buy homes they can't afford or renovate their renovate their homes and so on and so forth. I don't really
make money.
I don't really watch. I outsource all that stuff, so I'm not so keen on all those reality TV shows. But I know it was popular, and then it became the center of controversy because the Benham brothers are Christians, and they had, spoken on issues that are in the political realm, but also the spiritual realm as adults. And, of course, some in the D.C. press corps and Hollywood didn't like what they had to say because it didn't conform to the anti-Christian orthodoxy of those institutions, and so their show got canceled. Well, they've got a new book out that in part tackles that, but also bigger issues than just their professional careers, because they are two men who live their faith. The book, Bold and Broken, Becoming the Bridge Between Heaven and Earth. Pleased to be joined by David and Jason Benham. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
So why don't we just start with kind of, maybe, I don't want to relive a painful part of your past, but I do a little bit. Why don't we start with what happened with your popular show on HGTV and sort of the lessons you guys took away from that?
Absolutely. It's actually not painful. It's just part of God's story written into our lives as a testimony. And this is David speaking. I'm the older brother, and I'm a heck of a lot smarter than my brother Jason.
Sure. Well, then you should speak first. Yes.
We got out of pro baseball and became real estate entrepreneurs. By God's grace, we applied biblical principles into the marketplace. 7 years into business, we had 100 offices across 35 states. HGTV and TLC both came to us with offers for a reality show. We decided to sign with HGTV. It was great. They knew everything about us. We let them know very clearly that not only are we believers, but we also speak to what we believe are the two major moral issues of our time, not just political issues. These are gospel, spiritual, moral issues, which would be marriage and the sanctity of human life. And so we said, we speak to these things. And they said, that's great. It's okay. You're right. You're entitled to your opinions. The show's not going to be about that. It'll be about flipping. So they called the show Flip It Forward. We began airing commercials, and just before the first episode aired, Right Wing Watch and a few other of these, they call themselves news sources, but publications from the radical left, wrote a narrative about my brother and I that really just took things completely out of context. Of course, we became, instead of successful Christian entrepreneurs, we were haters, bigots, whatever-ophobes. And at that point, they started putting pressure on HGTV. So HG called us, three of the executives, and literally with tears, they were crying. They said, we can't believe this is happening to you and your brother, but we're going to cancel this show.
So it never even, an episode never hit the air at
HGTV? It just before the premiere, they canceled it. They backed it all. We had six 1-hour episodes already done.
But
so
you guys,
how do you process that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so evil and it's so destructive. How do you keep your faith?
Well, number one, we trust that in Romans 8:28, as we've read Scripture, we've known the Lord since we were 12, and so we were reading the Bible. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So we know that all things, not just the good things, but even some of the difficult things, some of the hard things to handle, are going to work for God's glory. And we realize at that moment that, we're at a pivotal time in our nation's history where the moral laws that govern the universe are now being, they're being assaulted, and we have to ask ourselves, are we willing to stand up for what we believe? And so we wrote a book called Whatever the Cost. It turned out to become a bestseller, and the next thing you know, Jason, I didn't realize we like to write. We're authors, and so especially now with this next book that came out, Bold and Broken, Becoming a Bridge Between Heaven and Earth, how it's really important for us as believers to speak with boldness, but to do it upon the foundation of brokenness, which means submitted to God in a spirit of humility. And so this is how we want to engage the culture. We want to speak and shine the light of God's word this direction.
And so, you guys start out, you're the popular entrepreneurs. There's a lot of anticipation about this show, sort of a popular topic area for shows. And maybe a lot of people didn't know about your faith. And now it's more about your faith than your real estate entrepreneurship. And I just wonder, how that's transitioned in terms of who your audience is and what your goal is. Is the goal to help the choir sing better, or is it to reach those who are otherwise, treat people who disagree with them coming from a base of Christianity as haters, as you said?
Well, that's a great question, and David and I would definitely say our goal is to be salt and light, which is, light is a revealer of who God is. We're still in the marketplace. We still, run our real estate company. We had built our real estate company to 100 offices in 35 states, so we're mixed in with the world, and yet we really do believe that God has called us to awaken Christians and to strengthen them so that they don't have to focus on perception and how we're perceived. I mean, when you stand for God's truth today, if you were to say something as simple as, God defines marriage between a man and a woman, and if you say that, and let's say you post that on Facebook, well, you're probably going to get a lot of people falsely accusing you as being a bigot or a hater or whatever, and those are all false accusations, and that puts you in the realm of what Jesus says in Matthew 5, that blessed are you when people persecute you and falsely accuse you, which means that when you stand for God's truth and people believe something about you that's not true, you're actually blessed. So our message is to Christians, but yet we're still running our businesses. We're still operating all the stuff that we're doing in the marketplace. And so we're just trying to be as salty as we can.
Yeah, well, I like that, be as salty as we can. And I think the thing that's inspired about this, too, I mean, places like Chicago, that are run like banana republics, a lot of people I feel like they have to play the game and they can't live out their faith in their professional pursuits. And you make compromises, and you make little ones, and then you make big ones. And I've done it, and upon reflection, I wouldn't have done it the way I did it previously. But it's easy to fall into that trap, and so it's good to have successful models of people living their faith and being successful in the secular temporal world as well.
Sure. It's interesting, and this is David speaking. It's interesting. In our book, Bold and Broken, we write a chapter about what happened behind the scenes with HGTV just a few weeks, or actually it was a few months before we got fired. And my brother and I were really afraid. And to be honest, we actually made some compromises. And so you got to read that chapter. And obviously we believe the book is great, but that particular chapter will really encourage folks that have compromised in the past or really struggling with it even now, saying, I'm afraid, I don't want to speak. Well, we know that feeling, but then God helped walk us through that. And the Holy Spirit began to fill us with boldness. We recognized the fear of man and a man-pleasing spirit on us, and we said, you know what? First and foremost, we as Christians in the marketplace are to do good works. That's Matthew 5:16. We do good works. So if you're in real estate, you're flipping houses or buying, hold, rent, or you're an architect or you're a radio host or you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, we need to be the best at it. At the same time, when it comes to God's laws and the principles of God that lead to his blessings, we don't need to shrink back from speaking what we believe the truth to be. So a man dies, MLK said, Martin Luther King Jr. said, a man dies when he refuses to stand up for what's right. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have fear. So we talk all about that in this book.
Okay, and then how did your relationship with God begin? I mean, were you guys always devout Christians?
Well, our dad was a pastor, and so, it's one of those PK things where you think, oh, well, we're supposed to be Christians. But when both of us were 12, at different points of our lives at 12, we gave our hearts to Jesus. And then our dad just basically gave us a simple challenge. He said, all right, boys, since you've started this relationship with Jesus, you need to get into the Scripture every single day. And so we made a commitment to read through the New Testament every year. Mm-hmm. So from the time we were 12 to the time we were 18, we read through the New Testament every year, so we got through it 6 times. And then by the time we left for college to play baseball at Liberty University, we started reading through the Bible cover to cover every year. And now we're 43, so we've been through the Bible 25 times. And it doesn't mean that we're uber spiritual. It just means that we're filling ourselves up every single day with that Scripture. And God has brought us through the ups and downs. And, man, I would just love to unleash on my brother and give you guys all the gory details of the stuff he did that was stupid. And but it's been a great time with the Lord. And we're just really thankful that God uses weak and broken people like us.
It's Shakespeare in Julius Caesar. A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but valiant tastes death but once. The Benham brothers, valiant in pursuit of professional success as well as living out their faith, and probably in reverse order of priority than I said them. David and Jason Benham, the book, Bold and Broken, Becoming the Bridge Between Heaven and Earth. Check it out. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with the book. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It was early last week that I felt as though there was going to be a cold coming on. What I did is increase my intake schedule earlier in the day, and 2 days later, all symptoms gone. That was my first real battleground test to see, okay, let's see what this can do. Outside of that, I feel better all health. I noticed another list that says, yeah, this stuff is coming on. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, you know, are you brainwashed by this? I said, no, nothing like that whatsoever. I said, it just simply works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, have you heard Team Hochberg is now originating loans at Homeside Lending? So if you're looking to refinance your existing mortgage or secure a financing for a new home, call Homeside Lending. That's where Team Hochberg is and his big team of people, including Kevin Kochman, Lynn, Jose Rodriguez, Scott Ellis, Cindy Piazza, JP Marzano, Thomas Byrne, Anna Eckroth. Yes, they're on the team, and their phone number to call is 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial can help you with things like 95% cash out value of your home with a minimum 680 credit score, or they can help with FHA and VA loans. They're the best in the business. Team Hochberg, 855-56-DAVID. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
If you're serious about improving your home, why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Arlington Racecourse in Arlington Heights. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience and see hundreds of the latest home products and services for thousands of the freshest ideas in remodeling, repairing, and beautifying your home inside and out. Get trusted advice for all your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts eager to help you with all of your home improvement questions. Plus, don't miss the free seminars all weekend, including kitchen design by Normandy Remodeling. See the latest trend in quality outdoor furniture made from recycled materials at Buy the Yard booth, the latest technology in home appliances offered by Grand Appliance, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend from 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday at the Arlington Racecourse in Arlington Heights with free admission and free parking. For details, visit homeshowarlington.com. That's homeshowarlington.com.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour, and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America now to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Call 800-375-8900, 800-375-8900. That's 800-375-8900.
Hello, I'm Matthew Hickey from the law office of Matthew J. Hickey. In my 21 years of practice, I've seen a lot, learned a lot, and know who does what best. So, if you have a criminal matter from traffic issues to potential prison time, I'm your guy. If you or a loved one has been hurt, or worse, and you don't want to call a firm whose namesake faces a second federal trial in April, give me a call. My network of attorneys with years of experience and millions recovered will listen, inform, and help you through a difficult time, and are in no way affiliated with any ex-aldermen, soon-to-be federal inmates. You shouldn't have to compromise your principles when you need help. The justice system is designed to intimidate you. I'm here to even that score.
For ethical, informed legal representation, call Matt directly at 312-767-7631. That's 312-767-7631. Or go to his website, MatthewHickeyLaw.com, and send him an email. Remember, the best defense is the best defense attorney.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions are posted at www.textrules.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply.
There's a mute button on your cell and one on your TV remote. Don't you wish there was one on your partner's snoring too? Thankfully, now there is. Mute is a comfortable nasal breathing device that increases airflow through the nose by gently opening the airways. You'll get more air through your nose, so you'll breathe less through your mouth, which is often the cause of snoring. And thanks to Mute, less snoring means more sleep for me.
Hit the mute button on your partner's snoring. Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid and other fine stores. To get a valuable coupon, text the word MUTE to 246810. Text MUTE to 246810. For more information, go to mutesnoring.com. Mute. Breathe more, snore less, sleep better.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, you could chalk this up in the gross column. Amy Klobuchar, there's rumors that she was difficult with her staff members, that she was, a horrible boss. That's what somebody said, that she's earned that reputation. You know what she would do?
That's been the reporting on her prior to her announcement for president and since.
Oh, yeah. She was rated one of the worst bosses to work for in Congress. But we're getting more information about what she would make them do. Personal errands, such as picking up her dry cleaning, packing her suitcase for travel. But ready for this? Cleaning and washing her dishes at her house. Really? And that's not the worst part.
That, by the way, that's also arguably a violation of campaign finance law. When you use public employees for personal business.
Yeah, according to staffers, the overly critical senator would sometimes turn a single mistake into a multi-day affair. Like, she couldn't let things go, and she would shame people and demean them, followed by, post-work angry late-night phone calls and emails in all caps, which we love so much. She was on with Brett Baer.
So do you have the temperament to be president?
I do. I think I showed that during the Kavanaugh hearings, and I have showed that through my life in terms of how I dealt with adversity in my personal life, growing up with my dad with a pretty severe drinking problem. He's doing well now at age 90, to the life I lead now.
And that's the elevator pitch?
Oh, my elevator pitch? No. My elevator pitch is I've had it with governing from chaos. We need to...
Blah, blah, blah. You know where that went.
So because her dad was an alcoholic, it's okay for her to
have anger issues? Really?
To be
That's
nasty to subordinates. And also, again, I love this idea that she's using staff for work at her home. Boy, I'd hate to see another senator dragged out of the chamber in cuffs.
High expectations for herself, high expectations for the people who work for me, high expectations for this country. But the worst part is...
So she's going to yell at us? If she's president, she's going to yell at us, and she's going to deliver speeches in all caps?
She reminds me of Rahm Emanuel. Really, because he has temper tantrums and yells at his staff, and that's what I've been told.
She's a little bigger. She's taller than Rahm Emanuel.
But also, listen to this. This is the worst part, I think, too. If one of her staffers is going to leave, if she's hearing rumblings of it, she'll try and find out where they've applied and sabotage that. And if they got a job offer, she'll call that employer and say, you should rescind this, for anyone who's trying to jump ship on her.
Great boss.
That's a control freak. And then there's a rumor going around, but this is, I don't know if it's true, but the Veep writers, they take trips to Washington, D.C., so they hear these rumors.
Sure.
That she had one of her staffers shave her legs for her.
Cory Booker?
That's the sound. So I brought a razor in. I was just wondering which one of you cats want to shave my legs today.
Disgusting.
We have a few minutes left in the show. Dan, are you in?
Sean from Elmwood Park is in the booth
Sean,
raising his
shave
hand.
My leg?
That's disgusting.
Sean's got a bottle of Nair, so that'll take care of the hair.
Won't be the first 6-foot blonde I had to deal with leg hair.
Oh, my. Yeah. What was his name?
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, Quinn McCarthy, our producer of our show. And thanks for listening. We're back here bright and early. Valentine's Day. Bring the roses.
For you?
Sure.
Anything.
Why not?
Anything.
I'll bring in some candy for tomorrow. Here's Mike Scott.
Overnight snow caused some slippery roads, and some blowing and drifting snow caused some delays this morning. The Lakeshore Drive Bridge has been reopened for now. A CPS teacher charged with sexually assaulting a former student, and the Blackhawks lost to the Bruins. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
They're still writing the bill designed